Just making sure everything's online. Looks like it is. And we'll do that. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to MD2L Season 19, lower bracket. I believe this is the semifinals. Being played between Arpaz One is Legend and Donald Duck. This is a lower bracket match, so the team that loses will be eliminated, and the team that finishes successfully will be able to go on further. I have before me a spreadsheet of what the kind of the players' roles and heroes are, so I should be a little bit more informed this match compared to the other matches I've casted. And yeah, we'll see if that improves the quality of the stream. Looking at bans right now, we have Fury and Jakiro and Clockwork coming out on the side of Arpaz One is Legend. Fury and Jakiro, sort of meta heroes, unsurprising to see them banned. Silencer as well, starting to see him getting picked up a little bit more in the pro scene. Very strong hero with that global. The facet that causes it to happen twice just means it's very annoying for team fighting against. Donald Duck, meanwhile, is going to start out banning Magnus, Tiny, and Enigma. Two position 3s and a mid, all kind of like strong AoE CC heroes. Pretty good early games, kind of like win fight early team heroes. And they'll pick up the Ancient Apparition. This will likely be a support played by Muzi, who can be like the 4 or 5 of Donald Duck. AA, kind of a meta pick right now. Going to be immediately countered by the Medusa on the side of Arpaz One is Legend. Medusa does not really care about AA's Ice Blast because she can just regen with the mana. Medusa is quite the contested pick / ban in the pro scene. She's usually played as a 3. She can be flex picked into the 1 position if the game looks good, also the 2 position, but right now her strongest position seems to be in that 3 slot, rushing like Meteor Hammer and Gleipnir, and just overall being an extremely durable hero that just disables on team fights. Following up these 2 picks, we have a Monkey King band coming out from the side of Donald Duck. More CC team fight AoE damage that they're just trying to get rid of, even more with the Tide Hunter now. Seems like they don't really want to be playing into like these high impact, high CC heroes. That could be indicative of that they want to be more of like a Deathball team. And well, they're running out of like heroes that do CC on the side of Arpaz One is Legend, so it seems like if they want to get one of these heroes, they may have to pick it pretty early on. They may have to like start picking cores pretty early on if they want to snag one up. But the last band's gonna come out, and honestly, this Medusa can be taken anywhere. You can definitely build a draft around it. The only natural counter to the hero is like Animage, which they're just gonna ban now. But once that's out of the pool, you basically just want to pick heroes that can stick around in fights, that can play with the Medusa's tankiness, that just do area damage with her. Heroes like Necrophos or like a Radiance Wraith King are pretty good with her, although she herself can pick up a Radiance if the enemy team is just ignoring her. And in terms of expected picks, I haven't really been seeing what Arpaz One is Legend has been picking in this league. I know that Clockwork is a signature hero of Crash, but they themselves banned that hero out. I think that they also pick Mirana pretty early on. That's quite a common pick. CM comes out. A little bit of mana regen for the Medusa. A strong laning phase hero. This could be flexed as either a 4 or a 5. Gonna be good in both lanes. As a Medusa, you really like to have that setup disable. So like a CM root is excellent for being able to do that. It just means that you're able to land those early roots, the Gorgon's Grasp on Medusa without needing an Atos. Donald Duck, meanwhile, taking not that much time at all to pick out their heroes. They go with the Beastmaster Zeus. Beastmaster likely going to be the 3. Zeus could be a 4 or a 5. They've played Zeus as a support in the past, not so much as a mid. And so we likely see the support pairing on Donald Duck. I look at this team, I see with the 2 supports, a lot of area damage, a lot of area magic damage. Zeus able to chunk down tanky heroes. Zeus is not that strong versus Medusa because a big part of his damage is with his innate or the static field, which does percent HP damage, which doesn't really work that well versus Medusa. Beastmaster is just a strong laner, high tempo hero. He likes to win his lane, rush that Ags, take objectives with it. So it's gonna be interesting to see what kind of like 1 and or 5 they're gonna pick. They're gonna pick the Ringmaster. Good area damage for the Beastmaster summons. Although the dagger, I forget what it's called on the Ringmaster, can get blocked by Beastmaster summons as well. Ringmaster is also an area CC hero. So our Puzzle is Legend kind of like trying to pick up heroes that give them that advantage. Maybe they're recognizing that it's something that Donald Duck doesn't really want to play with or play against. And Ringmaster is good against like divey heroes. So if Donald, like heroes that group up and push into your team, because with the Ringmaster Ultimate, the Carnival Wheel, whatever it's called, you're able to counter initiate fights, kind of like drop that in the middle of a team fight and just cause everybody to split out. They'll go Lifestealer. It's a good hero versus this matchup. Lots of magic damage on the side of Donald Duck, and Granola likes to play the Lifestealer.
10 seconds. 5 seconds.
And with that Rage, you just basically get a free BKB. Not a lot of tanky heroes thus far to justify the actual life-stealing aspect of the Lifestealer. And of course, you know, with the AA in the pool, the regen may not come into play that much this game. But he does have the tools to kind of like get away from the Ice Blast. He is able to rage and run with his fast movement speed. He's able to Infest Bomb to stop getting hurt by the Ice Blast. Razor gets picked up by Donald Duck. That's going to be the natural counter for the Lifestealer. So if Pause 1 is Legend, puts the Lifestealer in the 1 spot, this is probably going to be a 3 Razor to try and counter it in lane. I'd be curious to see where this Beastmaster goes. It's likely going to be a 1 or a 2. If they want to do the natural Lifestealer counter with the Razor, which is, I assume, is why they picked it. But our Pause 1 is Legend is going to be banning out mids. So they're probably thinking this is a Beastmaster 1 versus the Medusa. I'm not sure what that matchup's like. I'm not sure. Like, Medusa is pretty slow, but she can go undulating, which prevents the boar poison from like slowing her. And Beastmaster just kind of like bullies heroes out of lanes. Lots of sustained damage with the Q if you're able to get a lot of mana. So I'm curious to see how that matchup goes. Our Puzzle Legend bans a Sniper, so more mid picks. Meanwhile, on Donald Duck, they're going to ban out Quap and Odie, so both teams probably expecting that the mids have not been picked yet. On Donald Duck, I feel like my team lacks area stun, if that's what I want. The only pushing hero, like right-click tower hero, that we have right now is Beastmaster, so you can also pick something like that to supplement your team. They have a lot of time in the tank. They haven't really been spending any time at all on these picks. Full 2 minutes reserve time. So I could see like a pushing hero like a Death Prophet if they wanted to keep up high tempo. I could see a Puck if they wanted like the AoE stun. I could see maybe like even like a Dragon Knight if you wanted that single target stun, although it's not the greatest this game. Ember Spirit, sort of. Not really. I'm thinking more like hard CC'er and or pusher this game on the side of Donald Duck. And on our pause when his legend, they're gonna have the benefit of seeing what Donald Duck picks first to be able to pick a counter to it. But right now in our pause when his legend, they have the Medusa who's going to be able to be infested by the Lifestealer with Radiance, so they're going to have like a big frontliner, unkillable frontliner, doing a ton of damage that way. I think you want some kind of setup hero mid, maybe like a Pangolier. Odie would be a great setup hero, but that got banned by Donald Duck. Honestly, I could even see like an Oracle mid. Like, you have plenty of damage on our Plasma as Legend right now, just like having a save hero to couple with the Ringmaster. Just something to like try and get away from the high magic damage of Donald Duck is pretty good. I'm thinking like some kind of mobility and or setup hero. On Donald Duck, they will go Coddle. That does push creep waves. That does not push towers, though, if this is a mid Coddle. This could also be a deny pick because Coddle does combo extremely well with the Medusa because the Chakrams late game give her like 1,000 EHP with that mana buff. But you can tell, like, without any kind of traditional hard carry on the side of Donald Duck, they're really looking for like that early game presence, like win lanes, push towers hard, kind of like stand behind this Beastmaster. Our Puzzle's Legend is going to answer with an Ember Spirit. Yeah, I believe I thought that Donald Duck would pick that. But yeah, that is a mobility hero and a setup hero. Can slide in with the roots to set up for the Medusa and the Ringmaster.
What the hell, man? I thought the game was at 7.
I told you when it would start. Also, we're streaming live. I don't know if you're in the game or not.
Yeah, it's actually up. I got it up here.
Yeah, so I'm the broadcaster. That reminds me, I got to set up the assist camera. So welcome, Primo Janitor, or Alex.
Hello.
Will be my co-caster for this series. And you are fashionably late as we have just finished the drafting phase.
I see.
Any thoughts so far on what you see?
Seen the Medusa. I'm guessing that's a 3 Medusa. And it looks like Dimitri's playing Medusa. That's formidable. I've been having a hard time dealing with that in my games personally. Looks like pretty standard Lifestealer for Granola. I like the Dyer's team. Seeing the Beastmaster over there, Zeus. Pretty active team with a Razor. Should be a good game here.
Very good. Keep talking because I'm trying to find the assist camera move command.
Certainly.
There we go.
Well, suppose we could introduce the players. We've got in the green trunks, the Radiant, we have our position 1 is Legend, with Granola on the Lifestealer, SLA on the Ember Spirit, Dimitri on the Medusa, Emu on the Ringmaster, and Crash on the CM. In the red trunks, we have Donald Duck with Merci on the Beastmaster, Moosey on the AA, Bulljax on the Keeper of the Light, Icicle on the Zeus, and Breaker on the Razor. And we've got Radiance smoking into the Dyer's jungle here, looking for a pick. Looks like they spot the Razor. He's running away. Zeus evading up there to the north. No action, it seems. Zeus is straggling up there in the jungle, though. Up in a ward to block the camp.
Are you able to move the camera around?
I am currently moving the camera around.
All right, I think you're the camera operator for some reason.
Oh God! Why?
So I think.
Oh no!
Yeah.
That's not good.
I think that might be because you did not join the broadcasting group.
I see.
All right, so we're gonna have to. I'm gonna have to leave and watch this
Right.
with the 2-minute delay.
The battle begins.
Okay. Should I also leave?
Yeah, we'll watch on the 2-minute delay. So give me.
Gotcha.
All right, so we will disconnect. Leave the game. Hopefully that doesn't kick everybody out. That'd be embarrassing. Watch game. All right, so you have to leave too and do the watch game.
Yeah, okay. I've left the game.
So that means those at home are going to have to enjoy a 4-minute delay. All right, please work. Come on. Is it enabled? All right, so as I figure out the assisted camera, we have a smoke by the Radiant. Oh god, it's terrible. Smoke by the Radiant going into the Dire high ground. Take up positioning there. Seems like Dire has sniffed this out as they have split up from that area. Zeus is kind of caught alone, though, on the side. Be interesting to see if they manage to find him. I'm just going to spectate Dimitri here as I continue to find this command time. This is fucking terrible. Oh, God.
What a disaster. And it's all my fault. Struggling to get back into watching the game here myself, so it's a cacophony of errors.
Where is it? The Dota camera falling? No. All right, I think I found it. There we go. Okay.
All right.
So, apologies for the delay, but we made it in for the beginning of the game. So in the top lane, it is going to end up being a Razor 1, Zeus 5. Going against the Medusa 3, as we expected. Ringmaster 4. In the mid lane, it's going to be Caudle versus Ember Spirit. And in the bottom lane, it's going to be a 3 Beastmaster supported by the Ancient Apparition with a Lifestealer CM combo on the side of Radiant. It's interesting to see that they put the Razor in the safe lane opposite the Lifestealer. I was kind of expecting that to be the counter to the hero in lane, because that's what you usually see when you see the Razor against the Lifestealer. The hero is a natural counter.
So who would you have expected to go to the position 1? Were you thinking something like an unconventional Zeus 1?
I was thinking Beastmaster. We've seen it before.
Beastmaster 1. Interesting. And
Top
just
lane-
to confirm, you're at 126 game time, 27,
Yep,
28.
correct.
Okay, perfect.
Yep.
Okay, we're back, ladies and gentlemen. Off to a rocky start here.
So in the top lane, hero's getting low on the side of Radiant. Razor's Zeus does put out a lot of damage, and the Medusa doesn't really do that much in terms of damage in lane, I feel. Not until she gets some items and some null talismans to be able to support her mana costs.
Certainly.
I would expect top lane there's going to be a couple of deaths. In the bottom lane, the Crystal Maiden really helps facilitate those early kills, I feel. Maxing out Frostbite just does a ton of damage, a lot of disable on any kind of hero you're trying to bring down. Beastmaster's a pretty tanky hero, though. So I figure it's going to be this AA if they go on anybody in this bottom lane. Mid lane, I could see it going either way, honestly. Caudle just kind of blasts waves. If Ember does a good job dodging them, then he's probably going to do fine lane. I think that's really what the lane is going to come down to. Just like he did there.
A little bit of action in the top lane. We've got Ringmaster pretty low. Tossed some of his Impalement art daggers at the Zeus for A little bit of a trade there. Seems to favor the Dire at this time.
In the bottom lane, CM got a little bit out of position, started getting right-clicked down by the Beastmaster and Ancient Apparition. So far, though, no kills in this early game.
Yeah.
Lotus will spawn. Dire ends up getting both Lotuses as the lane equilibrium has favored them at this time. I was trying to think of
catches
like,
the Razor with the root there. He's getting awfully low. Impalement Arts are out. The Fear comes out, and they will take down the Razor. The Ringmaster gets pretty low, but that Lightning Bolt just isn't enough to finish him off.
if he had the Fairy Fire there to top him off. So I was trying to like think of how the tempo of the game was going to go during the draft phase. The fact that Dire, Donald Duck, has not picked a traditional carry like a Drow or a Juggernaut tells me that they kind of want to like get out of the laning phase running and just try and like group up, push down these towers together. They have quite a bit of team fight together, a lot of early game magic damage that they can combo up with the Ancient Apparition. So I'm expecting that to happen on their side. If I was Radiant, you're kind of item dependent on the Medusa and the Lifestealer. So you want to get some space for those heroes. Until then, though, I feel like your team fight's kind of lacking.
Yeah.
You feel the same, or you have a different
Oh,
opinion?
I absolutely concur. I mean, you want to get that Radiance on the Lifestealer and get some mana on Medusa and just make her unkillable. It seems to be the strategy with this position 3 Dusa. Just that mana shield does so much work.
Seems like Deuce is opting for no null talismans this game. Just kind of surprising. I usually see null talismans picked up whenever I see this hero in pubs. Looks like
Maybe the first blood, they're feeling confident in the lane.
perhaps. She seems to be having no issues with keeping her mana up, although she's been getting low a couple of times. Been figuring out a couple of mangoes. Should probably put up Blastus for you. Ember is currently winning the mid lane. Caudle's actually going back to Jumble to, looks like stack. Blast some waves down. But other than that lane, seems like Dire are winning the other side lanes. As they find a Zeus top, starting to run him down. They'll just let him go. Low resources, not able to do much in lane.
Yes, and a bomb. Oh, he looks like he's sticking around. Ah, he flew out some regen, I see. Healing self.
Hey, running back. Looks like to stack the camps. Interesting play. Beastmaster is able to farm up stacks very effectively, so that kind of tells you what the state of the lane is if Beastmaster feels comfortable enough to...
We've got a static link up top. Deuce's getting a little bit low. She's pretty much no mana. Half of her HP is gone.
Good Q.
Oh, wow. Just barely
So
gets out of there.
tanky on this hero.
68 HP under the tower. It's got to be frustrating for the Dire there.
Dire will pick up both Lotuses again, as the lane equilibrium did not favor them there. Yeah, it actually makes sense now that I think about it. The Razor with the static link, like Medusa is a slow hero, even with the undulation. You can just static link her up and run her down, and
Very true.
push her out of lane. So maybe they're just more afraid of the Medusa than they are the Lifestealer this game, or at least for the laning phase.
I think a lot of it's going to come down to the mids here. Both of these mids probably want to start getting active as soon as possible. Caudle, I believe, usually rushes Dagon, and he's got one queued up there. And Ember, with the Fire Remnant, can really just zip around and assist the side lanes.
Yeah, this seems like a complete free farming Ember at this point. Caudle's not really even coming to lane. So it's gonna be curious to see when he chooses to leave.
Looks
the
like,
lane.
speaking of, Ember looks like he's walking down towards the triangle. Might discover some stacks there.
We'll find
Finds
stack.
one stack, finds two. Might see a little scuffle here. The AA is walking up. Ember in hot pursuit. Pun intended. AA is running for his little life there.
Fire
TP
Remnant?
response. Ember
Yes.
finds a courier. Coddle's there, though. Zips out. Coddle's popped his ultimate. CM's trying to get the hell out of there before she gets blasted. But Coddle will be pursuing. Seems like a little hesitation on Lifestealer, not sure if he wants the smoke, but...
Meanwhile, top lane, Razor getting pretty low. Able to run out. Yeah, I was going to mention, Radiant don't really have a hero to take stacks at this time, and they're probably not going to have it for a while. Ember can slowly take stacks, but
Ooh,
it's going
Deuce
to
is getting awfully low in the top lane.
Oh, running it down.
As a mango, is it enough? Oh, Zeus, just not enough mana, I suppose.
Yeah, Razor just meanwhile on the bottom lane, getting low on the Beastmaster. CM Brute will...
They're diving him under the tower, and they take him down bottom. Very nice by the Radiant.
So 2 for 2 so far.
We've got Emperor's top here. Looking to haste chase down that Razor. Finds the Zeus instead. And he goes down for a clean kill. And it looks like Razor might just be able to avoid the Ember here. Hiding up by the Tormentor spawn.
I was going to say, kind of a low kill game so far. In terms of net worth, seems kind of a mixed bag. So I think Dire didn't win their lanes as hard as they wanted to, but Medusa is the lowest net worth core in the game. So if their objective was to try and slow down this Medusa as much as possible, they succeeded. But Ember was allowed to free farm, and the Lifestealer as well was basically allowed to free farm, with the AA running around getting stacks.
Right. Well, Coddle is about 100 gold off of his Dagon, so I'm expecting we'll see some movement from him.
We have to go bottom.
Ooh. The Primal Roar is used, but to no avail.
Two supports rotated down there. Started up with the Crystal Maiden Frostbite. A lot of damage coming out from those two supports. Able to bring them down, no problem.
Yeah, rotation seemed to be the name of the game here.
Dire's gonna get the one of the next Lotuses. Radiant have not gotten a Lotus this game yet. The bottom one's still available should they choose to get it. Even without those Lotuses, though, they've been able to do pretty good in their lanes. So if you're Dire, I think that you're just kind of waiting for Beastmaster to take these stacks. He's going to be rushing that Ags. I think that's like a super critical timing for Dire. They kind of just want to like stand behind him and take objectives once he gets that Ag. So at the moment, I think it's just a matter of like the supports getting their 6s in the lane. The core's getting 1 or 2. Actually, we have a go mid. No, he's out. The core's getting their early game farming items, like the Razor is working towards his Maelstrom. Coddle is going big Dagon this game. Tranks into Dagon, in fact.
It'll be interesting to see if he actually buys those out or if he switches his build over. I don't think you see a lot of people go past the Dagon 1 right away. At least I don't.
We have a Zeus flanking bottom right now. Not sure what he's up to. Actually, looks like Dire moving.
Coddle seems like he's at a bottom. Coddle has the Dagon. He's moving towards the bottom lane. Trying to stay out of vision there. A nice ward might catch him from the CM.
Both sides content to farm at this time.
Ooh, Ember finds a DD. We could see some action off of this.
Misses this light. Do you... I think Radiant are pretty happy with just stalling out this game as long as possible. Do you agree?
Absolutely.
God.
Yeah, I think...
Do you think
I
they
would
should
put
be...
my money on the draft, the Radiant draft, as winning the late game.
Do you think...
I mean, Medusa just gets ridiculously powerful, right?
Do you think Radiant should be doing anything right now while Beastmaster's farming up his Aghanims? Or
I think the idea is just have the supports guarantee farm on the Lifestealer, try to get his game going, and Medusa seems to be doing just fine on her own top. So I think it's basically up to the Ember if he wants to make any moves, but maybe bearing in mind that they did spot out the big stacks, they might want to try to disrupt that, but I think really it's just get the money right now.
yeah.
I mean, they've got the gold advantage in spite of the Dire being pretty efficient in stacking and taking stacks in the jungle, so...
I have a smoke play here.
And the
bottom.
top tower goes down as well. Smoke play comes in, big ult by the CM, gets the pick on a Beastmaster. Dies with his ult off cooldown, unfortunately.
Dire here is forced to run away. Zeus caught alone.
Zeus just got
Oh no, his courier's coming in. They're gonna see this courier. Uh-oh. He's trying to sneak out.
Medusa has knocked down the top tower, and she's rotated bot now to push down the bottom tower.
Yeah, she's finished up that meteor hammer without going boots or null talismans. It's a super early timing on that.
Yeah.
We're still made out of position.
Ooh, CM's getting awfully low. Will go down to the Coddle and the Razor. And they'll pick off the Lifestealer as well. And it looks like the Ringmaster got caught going for the Wisdom Shrine.
Yeah, by the two supports over there. Zeus a very strong pairing.
Yeah, lightning synergy.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
So the Lifestealer ends up being a little bit selfless, trying to save his CM, but in doing so gets caught out of position. Just basically put down on a platter in front of this Beastmaster. Easiest roar of his life there. They end up losing 3 in kind of a disconnected team fight there. It looks like they're rotating heroes down here. May want to try and save this tower. Dive's going to respect that though. Nail back up. Without the roar or the ice blasts, or even Thunder God's Wrath, they're lacking a lot of team fight right now. And
Absolutely. The only ult available, Wheel of Wonder. Ooh, they'll find a CMW on the Zeus, and it looks like he goes down to a team effort from the Radiant.
5 heroes down here. Dire doesn't want that smoke. They're backing up. With the meteor hammer, there's no possibility of killing this Medusa without those big ults I mentioned.
Yeah, incredibly formidable hero Medusa is.
So that'll be the second tower that they take. Looks like that instead of going for the final tier 1 on the side of Dire, they will move down here and take this Tormentor, which just spawned.
Interestingly enough, the Dire will know about
There is
this.
an Ice Blast coming down here. They had a ward, they didn't de-ward it. This is going to be disastrous. Oh my goodness.
A blast comes in,
Kills 3.
takes out... Well, technically, Ringmaster died to the Tormentor, but...
Yeah, so they only pick up 1 kill.
Oh,
but
both of them died to the Tormentor. Interesting.
The Radiant killed Tormentor. Yeah, okay. So they end up getting the Tormentor, but they lose 2 heroes. They actually don't lose any heroes to Dire, so it's not the end of the world there. They will lose this tier 1 off of that.
Oh, and they sniped the Torm as well.
No, Radiant got it.
It's... oh, I see. Yes,
Yeah, it's on the Ringmaster. Okay. Spotlight.
I saw the Zeus.
Spotlight is not particularly good this game. I think they were hoping more for like a CM shard. Crystal Clone does that AoE read, which is AoE CC, something that they're lacking this game. Spotlight just more of a vision spell, which not the most important when your team is kind of geared towards the enemy going on you. I feel they don't have great initiation.
Looking for something bottom here. It's possible they find the Ringmaster. He sees the blast. He's going to get the hell out of there.
Medusa just walks mid, starts meteor hammering the tower. There won't be any contest to this. No, that'll be the final tier 1 going down on the side of Dire. They're going on Ringmaster bottom. Commit the Zeus Soul for it. Doesn't get the kill though. That's a big team fight spell they're going to be lacking. Radiant should take advantage of this. And just to inform you, Alex, this is a lower bracket playoff game, so the loser is eliminated.
Ooh, elimination game.
They're playing for chips.
Best of 3, I'm assuming?
Best of 3, yes.
Excellent.
Have a smoke play by Radiant. Their own
Ooh,
triangle.
Zeus fumbles the heavenly jump there, gets caught by Medusa. Ice Blast coming in, but they're ready for it. They get out of the way. Ember catches two, Coddle and AA there. They're just trying to get away, but they're going to be taken out by cascading ults at both the Wheel of Wonder and the Freezing Field there. Nice fight by the Radiant.
Excellent team fight coordination by Radiant. Finding that pick off and then Ember immediately recognizing that there were additional picks available. Just charging in, finds two, Wheel of Wonder, easy follow-up.
Very nice. I'm expecting they'll... Oh no, maybe not. I was thinking that maybe they'd go try to Meteor Hammer that mid tower, but I suppose it's early still. Cooldowns are low. Oh no, here we go.
Bringing it around. Medusa has picked up Atos, so she's able to set up her own leashes. Or roots, I guess they're called.
And she's been having pretty good aim on those. She's hit quite a few of them already that I've noticed. Got a couple of nice ones.
Getting low. He's under vision. Seems to start the fight.
They find him. They're chasing him down. Ember's on top of him. AA Blast coming out, and they're just ready for it every time.
Yeah, lots of rotations by Dire. The whole team's here.
A lot of damage coming out on Ember, but he manages to slip away. Medusa is running for her life.
Nice blast.
Pops the ult, and Beastmaster commits the roar. She's in the box. Yeah. Bit of an awkward fight. Ringmaster seems like he's stuck around a little longer than he should have. Gets taken down. Nice Gorgon Grasp by the Medusa, getting the supports pretty low. Beastmaster pretty low. Lifestealer comes in, gets ridiculously low, but finds his way into the CM. Ember, nice sleight of fist there, trying to zone him out. Razors are around the top side, flanking in. Doesn't have his static link out for some reason, kind of surprising.
Dire's getting pretty low.
Ooh, nice. Lifestealer pops out, does a lot of damage. They'll get the combo out on the Razor, and he'll go down. But unfortunately, the Lifestealer gets picked up by the Zeus there. The Dire are so low. But Ember might be here, able to do something. Got his cooldowns now. He gets the blasted, so he's missing. Dagon takes him down.
The level 3 Dagon.
The Mystic Snake takes the Beastmaster there. Very interesting fight.
Slow fight.
A long fight.
Ends up being a 2,000 gold swing going the way of Dire. 1,600 XP swing as well. Not a lot of damage coming out from the supports of Radiant. Only 900 between them in that fight. Not able to utilize their spells effectively.
Yeah, that level 4 Dagon just does, it's a surprising amount of damage.
Yep. So it's a 2k advantage for Radiant. This is very bad for Dire without any kind of hard carry versus a Medusa lifestealing. They definitely needed to win the early game, and now that they haven't, do you think the game plan changes at all? Do you think they play a little bit more passively? Are they waiting for item timings, or do they just stomp on the gas even harder?
Well, I think they might be interested in getting BKBs. Might be best to avoid the 5-man until you have BKB. Really? BKB seems pretty good this game.
With these long fights, I feel like BKB is going to be a little hard to get your value out of.
Well, ideally, I mean, you've got pretty fast heroes over there. You want to just jump past the front line and pick off those supports, I would imagine. I mean, you've got a lot of zoning from the Tame the Beasts, the Impalement Arts, Frostbite, Ember, that's preventing you from getting to the back line past the Dusa and killing the Radiant heroes.
Might find a Ringmaster here. Gets away.
Ooh, he's got a whoopee cushion, and he gets the hell out of there.
Radiant will...
Roar goes down on the Juica mid. They're trying to stack some damage up on her. Got the static link. She's ulting, but she is awfully low, and she is out. Oh, AA Blast coming in.
The snipe.
Oh, she goes for the haste.
I don't know if it's enough.
She's not low enough, and the Zeus will get her, but Ember is now trying to get some compensation damage. Dagon coming on doing huge damage. Wheel of Wonder does catch the AA. Beastmaster is in the thick of it right now.
They're lacking teamfight ults on Dire.
Down pretty low, and will get taken up by the Lifestealer. They're chasing the Razor.
Oh, the
Amber
Dagon.
got low and got the Dagon just cannon. Level 5 now. It's doing a ton of damage.
Oh,
CM pops it
the
ult,
push.
unfortunately not really catching anybody.
The blinding light pushed her away.
Ringmaster's low, but he's got another whoopee cushion. Zeus wants him, chasing him down.
No mana?
Oh, gets feared. He's got no mana, and he's
You guys
going
got the
down
stick?
to the light stealer.
No.
Meanwhile, I heard a Dagon. He would just Dagon and a creep for life. I thought there was still something going on.
It's always
Crazy
funny.
fight.
It's always funny when they take Dagons to the face.
Yeah, wow. I was not expecting that max level Dagon to have such an impact, but I suppose 400 damage really does make a big difference.
I feel like Dire needs to do a better job of recognizing when their team fight ults are done and they have to back. I feel like they're just sticking around a little bit too long after the like the Ice Blast committed, the Roar's committed, the Thunder God's Wrath is committed. Like that was a very good fight to start with. I just felt like, you know, that Beastmaster just running into the thick of it just a little bit too long of a team fight. Like they got the Deuce pick, that was great. Trying to get more, I don't know if that was necessary. I just feel like you just take the pick and, you know, be happy with it. But
Perhaps so.
at the end of the day, it's still a 2k net worth advantage for Radiant. So not much has happened in terms of net worth change. Razor picked up the Manta style to just try and deal with all these roots coming out from the side of Radiant. That's what, 4 roots? Yeah, 4 roots. No, 5 roots if you count the CM. 6 roots if you count the CM.
Root City.
Ags and Shard. Medusa's finished up Gleipnir, going Hex next. I feel like right now the Caudal is the dangerous one in fights. He seems to be doing the most damage. So any kind of items or playstyles that help you get on top of the Caudal and explode him.
Got a Dire Smoke here. Looks like they're posturing around the river. AA's going in, trying to find some vision. It might pick up the CM. I believe they've spotted her. And AA Blast committed.
Blast.
Dagon, Thunder Gods, just for a CM. Interesting. That's quite a few ults.
Well, they managed to get it. Ends up being a 600 gold swing. Does Dire do anything off this? They have the wave bottom. Do they want to push?
I'm not sure if I would be confident pushing here without Blast, without Thunder Gods.
Medusa's going to show up, and she's going to be able to just stand there.
Crystal Maiden already alive.
However, smoke comes out on the side of Dire. Maybe trying to get a little bit more off of this advantage that they have.
Looks like Razor's trying to take out the last of the HP on the mid-tier 1.
Only 1 tier 1 remaining. Will be the top one, sitting at pretty healthy HP. Yeah, Dire's clumped up right now. They're feeling pretty confident. They've gotten a lot of value items on their team. Caudal picking up the Boots of Travel. Razor with the Mansa, Beastmaster with the Blink.
Doesn't get caught in the same position again. Very lucky by her. Looks like they did manage to spot the Dire here, and there might be a fight brewing.
A is blocking it alone. Try and find a Deuce. Puts a ward down.
AA has tossed some snowballs at the Dusa.
They stun the
Beastmaster's in. He drops the roar. A Blast goes down. She's in the box, though.
A lot of magic resist. She's getting low.
Awfully low. Yeah, got some stuns off from the ult there. And CM's in with that big freezing field. Doing tons of damage while Ember
that
and Lifestealer
freezing
just tear the Dire to shreds. Beastmaster and Razor both going down to that onslaught of damage.
Just overcommitting on the Medusa there. Such a tanky hero to bring down. They don't
And to
even
top
get
it
her.
off, CM dug up a bounty room. That's gotta feel nice.
Oh, for her Ember Spirit. Nice bottle refill. Radiant are gonna get more here.
Oh yeah, he's charging in. Looks like he's gonna find the AA. Got the Lifestealer in him. Lifestealer pops out. And AA is just made out of paper.
Looks like Zeus will be able to TP. There is a Tormentor if Radiant want to grab it. Looks like they're more interested in pushing out this lane. CM Shard would be a pretty valuable pickup on the team, I feel.
Right.
Looks like they
Doesn't
might
seem
be... Yeah, they're waiting around for
particularly
the
interested
wisdom.
in picking one up, though. Going for a Force Staff and then a Blink Dagger. Mobility is key against that team.
They'll begin the siege of bottom tower. Medusa, even at half mana, is very tanky hero. The Razor shows up, pushes them away.
Throws out the Plasma Field. I don't know if Radiant wants to fight here. No
Ra-
Ember.
no
But does
Rage
he-
on
Oh,
Lifestealer.
Primal Roar goes out on the Lifestealer, and they just obliterate him with that Dagon. There's so much damage there.
That was 1,000
Trying to
damage
catch the
rolled
Dusa,
out.
but she just TPs out in the AA blast.
Alright, we'll roar down again. Thunder God's down again. Eye of the Storm down again. I feel like Dire made this mistake before. It's a good time to
Well.
push right now, but once that Lifestealer is up, I feel like you got it back.
Yeah, probably can't get this whole tower, especially with the backdoor protection, and no creeps anywhere near.
They gotta wait a little bit. Lifestealer's gonna have like 10 seconds off of his respawn when the Street Wave gets there. They're gonna find Beastmaster.
Ooh, very nice catch. Guess he overstayed trying to...
Missed the
He
Gorgon.
manages to find the blink out.
That would have been a good kill, actually. He has no BKB yet, and his team wasn't with him, so that would have just been a Beastmaster kill had they landed that Gorgons. But unable to land it.
It's a tough skill to land.
Hmm.
Especially without any kind of setup.
Dire, decent vision. Radiant only have vision on their side of the map right now. So I feel like Radiant, if they want to start playing a little bit more aggressively, they got to do some kind of smoke play and invade. Because right now they have very little information. Only seeing this Razor down here. Or in the mid lane. So do you think this Coddle is kind of a one-trick pony right now, or you think like this Dagon is still going to be doing absolute work? In
Well,
the,
I mean, they were able to find the pick on the Lifestealer because of that Dagon.
yeah.
They were able to find a lot of kills in these fights that have been lasting longer because, I mean, 15 seconds is not that long if the fight is a minute long. And that's a lot of damage, so it looks like there might be a little scrape up top here, but it's versus an Ember. He's an hard guy to pin down.
Yeah, you're able to hear the Illuminate in fog, so Coddle blasting there did give away that there was something happening. Ember
Right.
backing off as he heard that.
Coddle, 2 boots, 1 for each foot.
Yep.
Has a pair of Travs now, and is opting to buy a sheep stick. That'll probably be very helpful in locking down the Radiant.
I'm curious if the Tranks into bots was the intention, or if it was a misitemization. We may never know.
Seems pretty intentional. It's good early, cheap early, high movement speed for a character who likes to sort of dance around the fights, and good regen as well.
Susel comes out scouting out Radiant's position because they want to take the Tormentors. Seeing that no Radiant heroes are nearby, they will take that pretty easily.
And we've got lightning hands on the Zeus now.
Also pretty shit Shard. I mean, he's been right-clicking a little bit. Like
It's not the worst.
you have to
this
build
game.
towards it is the thing, and he is
Yeah.
not built for it.
The Pavis, and it looks like he's going Ags, so
Radiant going Roshan right now. Do they have vision?
good play by them.
They see a Beastmaster top, so they feel pretty confident about taking this. They also have vision on the high ground next to the pit, so they'll have advanced warning. Should Dire try and contest this?
Now, if you're the Radiant, who do you want this Aegis on? I think
Medusa.
probably the Ember.
Medusa doesn't die. It's probably the Ember. I feel like the Ember does the most damage in these fights. They put on the Lifestealer. He actually has Radiance. That's probably the reasoning.
I suppose that makes sense. Yeah, and he's been getting popped by the Coddles, so
Yeah.
Coddle Zeus. They have a lot of burst damage.
You generally put it on the person who's going to be hitting towers, like going high grounds. And of the heroes on Radiant, I think that Lifestealer is probably the one most likely to do that.
Well, I mean, with the Dusa Meteor Hammer, I would expect she's going to be the one doing the majority of the tower damage, just because it's so safe for her to walk right up to it, drop the hammer on it, and then walk away.
Lifestealer infests Ember.
Gets the
They started the
Gleam off
Medusa
on the
again.
Zeus, gets the Gorgon Grasp. AA is getting caught on the side, drops the blast, and manages to hit both Ember and Lifestealer.
No follow-up, though.
Does go down, though, and the rest of the team is not in a position to capitalize.
The slow siege continues. The Meteor Hammer.
Back to it. So, what do you think the Dire need to do to take control of this game right now?
Well, right now, the Radiant team has Aegis, so it's a little bit difficult to force fights into them. If a team is deathballing like this, it's generally best to try and split push lanes and force reactions, like Ember Spirit or someone going to go defend a tower. And then you try and take a fight that way. You'll try to get some kind of numerical advantage like that. Obviously, you want to be fighting around vision as well, so defensively, you're going to have more chances that way, rather than trying to find something and placing a ward down mid-fight. Item-wise, Razor's got the BKB working towards, I believe, Mjolnir. So not really an item coming that way, which is going to really improve your to-kill chances. Coddle picked up Hex. So basically, like a lot of, I'd say, like kitey team fight items on the side of Dire. So they kind of want to do like a rapid initiate, but then kind of like kite around. I feel
Right. Oh, Beastmaster getting caught out here.
Ooh.
Just locked down for the entirety of his life.
Had the BKB. Either chose not to use it or just didn't have the time.
Not sure if he lives, even if he pops it there. They have a lot of physical damage as well as magical.
Dagon coming up, bringing down this Lifestealer.
Tough to push uphill against the blast.
It's so hard to
Not
fight.
that
here
tough, apparently.
without the Beastmaster. Like, this is ideal for Dire. Like, you want to get maximum value from this Dagon, so just kind of like these long team fights where you're just able to blast heroes over and over again is so impactful.
Dire's getting pretty low. That AA blast doesn't happen to find the Lifestealer, but does get the Ember.
I don't like this AA blast. You have to wait till there's an actual fight. Because you can't leave base. Or you don't want to leave base. Radiant are getting pushed away.
Interesting to note that the Escape Act box does give 80% magic resist.
Yep. Very good defensive ability.
Blast is not doing as much as it should be against this nigh unkillable Medusa.
Well, the resist doesn't even help against Medusa because her innate works before reductions.
Oh,
So it's just
very
doing
true.
mana damage. It does help with like your HP going down, but that's basically nothing.
right. The entirety of the Dire is up here. Looks like Razor is trying to farm up. Going for a Satanic next. Does not have enough gold for buyback,
Ice
so
Blast. Oh, they're gonna
big Ice Blast.
Ringmaster.
Which is the Ringmaster, but Lifestealer is sort of preventing the Dire from escaping the base and capitalizing.
Dagon just does nothing on Medusa.
Yeah.
Shows how much EHP she has. Razor trying to start something here.
He's got the static link on. Lifestealer dies once.
So many
This
Coddle
is in a
Blasts.
little bit of an awkward position. Thunder Gods goes out. Ringmaster's awfully low in the back there. Deuce ult coming out. We got some BKBs from the Razor and the Beastmaster. And it seems like Radiant are happy to just wheel out and try to take the fight
Yeah, no
in a more
BKBs.
suitable position.
No BKBs on Dire Core, so they do not want to chase out of here. Do you re-engage as Radiant?
Let's see why not. I mean, that tower's got 255 HP.
Could force it. There's no more Aegis. So it's a little difficult to stand high ground.
I'm not really sure why they're out of there. But I suppose Are they close to item timings, maybe?
They're lacking Infest, Gorgon Gaze, whatever it's called, Stone Gaze, and Wheel of Wonder. So they were lacking a couple team fight ults. But Dire's cores didn't have BKBs. Like
Yeah, and also, Primal was on cooldown, Thunder Gods is on cooldown, Eye of the Storm is on cooldown. I'm just... Probably better to be disciplined and fight when you have your resources, though.
this is an elimination game, so mistakes are going to be omega punished.
Right.
So a little bit of conservative play coming out on the side of Radiant.
Looks like they found a DD rune. And it looks like Ringmaster has double damage. Sorry, amplified damage. A little bit of a Cold War. Beastmaster getting a little far out there. Be worried if I were him.
Dire does have a OBS in the triangle, so they do see essentially the entire Radiant team here. Not getting de-awarded, so he's pretty comfortable chilling in that lane. Meanwhile, Radiant's wards are kind of base wards. There's one in the corner, the top right corner. Another one, kind of a lane ward in the top lane. And they just put another one down in the high ground in the triangle. So, like, they're setting up contain wards, but right now Dire aren't really contained. Like, the Razor and the Coddle are farming creeps on the top half of the map. Beastmaster's staying close to base, but outside the range of those wards. So Radiant doesn't really have a lot of information to operate off of, so they're just backing for now.
Do you suppose the Radiant are waiting for the next Varoche, maybe?
I believe that is the case, yeah. No Tormentor. No other objective, really. They don't want to smash high ground without the Aegis. Because you've seen just how much damage the Coddle can deal to this Lifestealer. It's just so hard to stand high ground.
Right.
I have a bit of a smoke coming out down in the bottom lane. You check out Vision on Dire real quick.
Looks like Lifestealer might be sneaking this tower top here.
Yeah, they see Ember and Lifestealer. That's all.
The
they see.
ATP's back to try to save the tower, and it looks like it might be enough. And meanwhile, we've got a smoke play coming from the Dire here, looking for
Find the AA.
something. Trying to flank around on the side here. AA is distracting beautifully. Razor goes in, just barely misses the CM there. Ember is hexed, not able to do anything yet. BKB comes out from the Razor. Eye of the Storm is gone. Thunder Gods comes out. Zeus is in a very awkward position.
There's no Ember in this
AA
fight.
Blast hits two. Wheel of Wonder and CM ult will take out the Zeus. Ringmaster getting awfully low there. Beastmaster comes in and Razor finishes him off.
Roar on the Deuce.
CM's getting chased on the left, while Coddle and AA are getting chased down on the right. Just cores dive in the back line here. Dusa taking a lot of damage from that Razor, but Lifestealer and Ember are here to help now. BKB's coming out, but it looks like the Razor will go down. Beastmaster gets a nice blink out of there, and it looks like he's home free, but that's a tough fight for the Dire.
That looked like such a good start to the fight too, with the Ember not in it for about like the first 15-20 seconds. Just Dire just unable to lock down heroes and burst them. The Roar came out on the Medusa of all heroes. I feel like you gotta save that for other heroes which you can like burst during the Roar.
Yeah.
3,000 gold advantage going to Radiant, 6,000 XP advantage.
Beastmaster looks like he's getting caught off here. Very tanky though. Lightstealer going in. Got the Razor buyback as he's going to chase the Radiant out of there. Ember and Lifestealer sticking around, but they've decided they would rather fight another day.
Don't mind me just checking the stream, make sure we're still alive.
Certainly, certainly. Very valiant effort there by the Dire. I really like that smoke flank play. They could have just found the supports a little earlier. That CM was able to just glimmer and evade them. Not sure what happened with the detection there. But she was able to live and get off a pretty nice ults to kill that Zeus.
So you're only 9k down as Dire. You still have all your racks. You're still in this game. The question is, do you have the tools able to kill these Radiant cores? Deuce is just going to be hard no matter what your draft is, unless you have an Anti-Mage, so just ignore her for now. But for the Ember Spirit and the Life Stealer, do you think that Dire has the tools on their cores right now to be able to kill these heroes?
I mean, Static Link is very powerful. If he's able to just steal all the Life Stealers or the Ember's damage and then, you know, beat the hell out of them. It seems like a path to victory. I'm not sure. I mean, Coddles seems to be putting out a decent amount of damage. Still, he's got the Scythe for crowd control. Got the Blast. I'm interested to see if he'll pick up a Will-O-Wisp. I think that might be a good pickup this game, but looks like he's opting to go for an E-Blade, probably wise
Both
as
sides
well.
smoking up here. Gonna be a fight
Ooh,
soon.
looks like there's gonna be a
Zeus scouts him out.
They know they're smoked.
Oh, the
They
Zeus
catch
caught
the
out.
Zeus. He's hexed. He's getting comboed. Freezing Field committed. The Primal Roar comes out on the Ringmaster this time, and he goes down. That's probably a good thing. AA Blast hits the Dusa. It's awfully low. The Ember does not finish him off, though. They're opting to chase down the Coddle. Will find the root, and it looks like he'll be going down here as Lifestealer hits him with the Abyssal Blade, smacks him to death. Ember goes in. Looks like he's trying to find a pick on this Razor here, but Razor just so fast.
Beastmaster all alone.
Ooh, Beastmaster left to die, unfortunately.
Yeah, Beastmaster
No
went on the Medusa again after the Roar killed the Ringmaster, which was a good play, but just going after Medusa and just kind of get caught alone with her, just unable to help contribute to the fight. Good target prioritization, I will mention, by the Ember Spirit, recognizing that Coddle doesn't have that many defensive items, it's just the Force Staff. So if you're able to get on top of this Coddle, he's a very squishy target to kill, and he's a very important target to kill.
Yeah, very nice discipline play, switching from the, very squishy, nearly dead AA to get the Coddle.
Aegis
Roche
we picked
back
up
on
a
the
little
Lifestealer.
Yep. At this point, though, I feel like you could even put on the Medusa. If all you're doing is just going high ground, then the Medusa is far, far tankier than Lifestealer. You're gonna make more use of that, the resources from that Aegis, I feel.
Yeah, I agree. I think she seems to be the one primarily doing damage to the buildings, so...
He does more damage to heroes, though. Maybe they're prioritizing that. No tower in the top lane, so that's likely going to be the lane Radiant go after. They will need a creep wave first, though. And Tormentor is up if they want to do it. Right now, they're just kind of hanging on the top lane. Dire, meanwhile, look at Fog. C2 heroes top, so they kind of know 3 heroes top now, so they know where the enemy is. So they were hemmed into their base for a second there, but now able to break out and push out the waves a little bit.
Yeah, the Radiant really want these racks top, and I can't blame them for it. CM gets a nice little sneaky ward in the base there.
Ooh, that could be disastrous if it's not de-warded.
Beastmaster gets caught. He's hexed.
Oh, nice force, double force.
Oh, very nice saves by
CM ult on nothing.
Dire supports. It's coming off on Lifestealer. Yeah, man, that Dagon still just chunks the hell out of him. Dire doing their best to kick the Radiant out of here, but it's gonna cost a lot.
Tusa just standing high ground.
Not much you can do against that. They're doing what they can, though. Blast's going out. Plasma Field's going out. Whirling Axe is going out. He just doesn't care, and the racks go down.
First set of racks falling at 46 minutes into this game. It's a slow one. I feel like the fact that this is an elimination series means that it's just going to be a little bit slower play than what we're used to seeing. Lifestealer has infested the Ember Spirit.
They've committed the Roshan banner. Razor tries to smack it a little bit, gets hexed and rooted, but the Force Staffs are coming out. Lifestealer driving into the base. Thinks better of it, though. Gets the hell out of there.
They have no answers for this Dusa. They have no way of pushing her out of base.
The mana pool is barely going down.
Look at this, they're just full Dagoning her.
She's at a third still. They're dumping it. Razor's getting awfully low to the Lifestealer. Lifestealer does have Aegis. BKB popped on the Razor, but it's not enough to save him. Beastmaster, same thing. Doesn't get caught by, just barely managed to get forced out by his team there. Does not get caught by the Ringmaster ult. And Dusa, through all of that, still alive. Still squirming around. Dropping hammers on your buildings.
She has effective HP of like 15,000 right now.
That's insane.
So even dropping all those spells on her just does not matter.
Yeah, that AA regen reduction just means nothing.
Yep. She's able to heal through it.
She doesn't have regen to reduce. And the tower goes down. Lifestealer gets a little low. He did spend his Aegis in that fight.
That is important.
Coddle really doing his best to just chunk the Lifestealer down bit by bit.
Ember going in.
Ooh, Ember dives in on the Zeus. Gets the roots.
Crystal
BKB
Maiden
popped.
on the Beast.
CM's on the Beastmaster. Freezing Field goes down. Gorgon Grasp goes down. Rooted, Feared, and the Lifestealer popping out kills him. Very nice.
Joe's inviting me to play Dota. Love to see it.
Yeah, I got the same thing. Sorry, bud. Gas in the game.
Dire's middle barracks has fallen.
So second Rax falls at the 48-minute mark, and I feel like the formula stays the same here for Radiant, as the unkillable Medusa remains unkillable. 48 mana
wait for
regen.
another Roche?
Do you want to know how much HP regen that is equivalent?
Sure.
That's like 160, 170.
That's quite a bit.
So she has the equivalent to like 2 hearts right now worth of regen. And so
Yeah.
if you're unable to burst her, she just, heals to full after however many seconds.
You think they're gonna ban this in the second game?
Oh, absolutely.
I wouldn't blame them.
This is unplayable on the side of Dire. Might find a catcher on the Beastmaster. Tries to roll her.
Ooh, nice little Ringmaster ult goes off. Beastmaster and AA getting caught. They'll get the pick on the Beastmaster. Razor coming around behind, grabbing the Dusa. Through his BKB though, he's just getting swiped down by the Lifestealer.
I feel like you don't leash the Medusa.
Yeah.
GG's called. They know they have
not
no
surprising.
answers. They have no answers for this team. There's a draft difference. Unable to deal with the Medusa. They needed to lock her down or shut her down earlier in lane, I feel. Just game went a little bit too late and their heroes just didn't have any answers for them.
Yeah, very difficult position to be in from the Dire if you don't get that early advantage and snowball out of control.
Yep. So that's going to be game 1 going the way of our Pause Wins Legends. This is a best of 3, so potentially 2 more games in this series. Elimination match coming up next for Donald Duck. We'll be taking a short break here, but we'll be back as soon as possible once the game starts, and we'll see you then. We're live.
All right, welcome back after a quick 5-minute break for game 2.
It is Radiant's
And this time we are back in the lobby. Hopefully we don't get that camera bug again. And immediately we see the Medusa get banned. Unsurprising.
Yeah, that's that is not surprising at all. Very formidable foe in that last game.
Yes. You have to have a specific comp, I feel, to deal with her. Like, if you just go late, it doesn't matter how much damage you have. Like, you saw with like Coddle being buffed up with AAWs and the Coddle, whatever the magic amp is. Like, even with that 2000 damage nuke or whatever it is with Dagon, just unable to do anything to the Medusa. So,
Yeah.
you have to draft against it specifically, which usually means picking up like an Animage or a PL with Diffusal. AM did get banned that game, and Donald Duck got punished by it. Ringmaster as well getting banned. A getting banned on side of our Plasma is Legend. I believe that Donald Duck banned out Tiny, Magnus, Enigma the first game, so we have a whole new set of bans coming out from Donald Duck. On our Plasma is Legend, I forget what the bans were. I believe Furion was one of them. Let me pull up my notes here. Maybe I can refresh my memory.
Jakiro and Clockwork bans coming out. Jackie very strong, and Clockwork. I believe Crash is a big Clockwork player.
Yeah, Clock was banned by our Pause One is Legend last time. So that was one of the heroes.
Interesting. Nobody wants to fight a Clockwork. I don't blame them. Those cogs are tricky to deal with.
So Jakiro and Clockwork were banned by our Pause One is Legend last game. They get banned by Donald Duck this game. Kind of interesting to see that. I'm trying to remember the last heroes.
Those are both tough heroes to play against. Jackie does a ton of damage right now. And Clockwork. Cogs are super hard to deal with early game.
Yeah, I think Clockwork is a hero played a lot by Muzi on the side of Donald Duck, which is why I was banned by our Pause One is Legend last game. But as you mentioned, Crash is a renowned Clockwork player. So it's a pretty easy first ban. Coddle gets banned on the side of our Pause One is Legend. They don't want to have to deal with that kind of
Yeah, no, they were getting popped by that
racing
dude.
around here again. So a lot of bans this time, reflecting what happened in the first game. So we're gonna have a much different draft this time around. Donald Duck banned a lot of CC heroes the first game. It was like stuff like Tide Hunter, Magnus, Enigma, stuff of that nature. Tiny, which immediately gets picked up by our Fuzz One is Legend. So those heroes are in the pool. So it seemed like Donald Duck was afraid of those heroes in the first game, but now that they're all in the pool, let's see if our Pause One is Legend is kind of like gonna jump on that advantage.
Yeah. And is this which position? Because Tiny can really go anywhere. So which position is this Tiny, do you think?
This is likely going to be a mid Tiny.
Mid Tiny.
But
very hard to deal with.
But it can be flexed to the position 1. I know Granola has been playing it a lot in pubs. So either a mid or a 1, depending on what the matchups look like. Beastmaster gets picked up again. They seem to like that hero from last game. I feel like the hero is going to perform way better without the Medusa in the pool.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because Medusa is just such a great counter initiator. You're able to scare away heroes with that Stone Gaze when the Beastmaster goes on someone. Zeus gets banned. So yeah, we're going to have almost completely different drafts.
Well, that'll be exciting to see.
Yeah.
Do you figure they'll ban the Razor too? Probably not.
I feel like Razor was intended to counter the Medusa and the Lifestealer. They did not pair it in lane against the Lifestealer though. It was pretty good against the Medusa. I Yeah, honestly, like now that I think about it, it's like a really good counter to the Medusa. But I feel like you don't pick that like raw. I feel like you need to wait and try and like get a good counter pick off of it, because if the Razor comes out too early, then the enemy team can avoid picking heroes that Razor counters, because
Drow Ranger is the ban. Very interesting. Was that banned last time?
I don't believe it was. I know that Breaker plays a lot of Drow Ranger. And Drow is the kind of hero you want to play with the Beastmaster, that kind of early push win lane hero. So I'm not surprised to see it get banned here. Last ban coming out from Donald Duck. Historically, against our pause one is Legend, most teams like to ban position 3s to try and counter Dimitri, because Dimitri has been kind of a monster on heroes like Magnus and Enigma. Just like
And
jump
here
in.
comes the Magnus.
Yep, kind of just jump in at like critical moments in the team fight and just get a 3 or 4 man massive team fight ult. So one of his heroes gets banned this time, but he absolutely has other heroes available to him that are probably gonna get picked in this phase that our pause one is like will be able to draft. I'm curious to see if Donald Duck picks some more traditional carry this game, because the last draft was very early game aggro, but we saw that like the game went late, and this might just be like a subconscious thing with the elimination mindset. But game, I expect that games are gonna go a little bit longer. You know, the longer the series, the playoffs go on. We see an Earthshaker, big wombo combo team fight hero, can win lanes, and
Does a lot of damage.
Yep, absolute like anti-clump hero, very good anti-clump hero. And a little bit tankier of a hero versus the Zeus AA that they drafted in the last game. According to my notes, I'm not really seeing Earthshaker on any of these heroes. Oh, it looks like Muzi has played him in the past, so this could be a 4 Earthshaker to be paired with the Beastmaster.
Interesting. Double melee offlane is a little risky, but if they can pull it off, those are two pretty strong heroes to take into the mid game.
Wyvern comes out pretty quickly. Our Plasma's Legend has burned a lot of their reserve time. Wyvern's pretty good against these heroes, I feel. If this is a offlane pairing, if you put the Wyvern down in the safe lane to counter them, I feel like she's gonna have a great time in there. She loves being able to hit melee cores like this with her long range current HP percentage right clicks.
Potom comes out for the Dire.
That'll be a Crash Potom, likely position 5. So probably position 4 Wyvern. I feel like they'd be better putting this Potom in the 4 slot though, if this is a offlane duo from Donald Duck. I think Wyvern's gonna be very happy against these heroes. I guess we still have the full draft to go through, so things could change.
We shall see.
So a lot of magic damage coming out on the side of our pause one is Legends, as well as Donald Duck. Even more magic damage coming out now with the Gyrocopter. This is probably a 1 gyro. I don't think this has been picked this tournament on this team. So curious to see where that ends up. But it is a ranged hero, so they can't pair it with one of these melee heroes.
It'll be interesting to see what they pick up. Do you think after that last game, we're going to see some different play styles from either team?
Well, in this game, they have on the side of Donald Duck 3 heroes that like to run in and do their combo. Versus last game, you had the Ancient Apparition Zeus, which are more of like wait for the Beastmaster and the Razor to go in. Dawnbreaker now like even compounding that. So you're gonna have like heroes running in, then followed up by the Dawnbreaker, but they could even like bait a hero and then try and counter initiate with the Dawnbreaker. They still have that Beastmaster set up. Like he's gonna be the primary initiator, I feel. So it could be similar to the last game where they just kind of wait for that to happen. But any of these heroes on the side of Donald Duck could start a fight if they so choose.
Slardar comes out for our pause one is legend.
I feel like our pause one is legend is lacking damage right now. They have tiny burst. They have Slardar right clicks. But in terms of early game team fights, I feel like they're lacking pretty significantly in the damage department versus Donald Duck, where you have like a call down, Echo Slam, Donald, Beastmaster Ags. So Donald Duck has a ton more damage in the early game fights than Dire does. And I'm not sure Arpaz wins Legend even wins the lanes of these matchups. Invoker gets banned by Arpaz wins Legend. So once again, they're probably expecting the mid to come out last.
Here goes the OD.
OD
And Quap.
Yep, those got banned last time by Donald Duck as well. On our pause, what is Legend? What does your team lack? What counters the enemy team?
Sniper Band comes out.
Yeah. Sniper Band tells me this could be like a... This could be a Huskar if you want something to deal with all of the magic damage coming out from Donald Duck. They don't have too many natural counters. It's just the Beastmaster Roar, really.
They did ban the AA too, so...
Yeah. Once again, I think Pango's a pretty strong pick here. Just having that that BKB effect versus this kind of magic damage is very strong. You have decent initiation. You're gonna pick right now, actually. It could be Timbersaw.
Timbersaw.
Okay, so that does offset the damage that they were lacking. Timbersaw basically only does damage, no kind of CC really, apart from the Chakram slows.
Death is crowd control in its own right.
I just feel like they have 2 ways to set up for the Timbersaw. It's the Slardar jumping in or the Tiny jumping in. And
they could find an arrow, maybe.
Maybe. But like the Timbersaw has to be really close to be able to follow up, and they don't have like area pickoff with this draft.
Right.
Like they have to rely on one of those 2 heroes blinking in and then following up with like the Timbersaw damage. Last pick,
Disruptor. Very interesting.
That's unusual. I have no idea what... Okay, so Icicle is the 5, so that's a 5 Disruptor. Mercy's the 3, so 3 Dawn. Muzi is a support, so support Earthshaker. Boyax is mid, so mid Beastmaster.
Very interesting.
And 1 Gyro. So they're changing up the lanes here. I believe, yeah, Breaker is their best player in terms of MMR. Or no, he's just behind... Oh no, Breaker is the best player. So they want to put their best player on the Gyrocopter this game. Or on the 1 position. Moving... Did Billiax play Beastmaster last game?
I think I'm not sure. Did he?
Because normally Mercy is a 3. So this could be like a... Boyax has higher MMR than Mercy, so this could be just to try and slow down SLA, who I believe is the highest MMR on the side of our Posman's Lund. They're moving the Beastmaster to like a lane where he might have a little bit of a better time. Because last game he wasn't really able to farm up that much. And if Dire
Right.
are reliant on the Beastmaster this hard to win team fights, then it might be better to put it in a lane where it might have a better time.
And our pause one is Legend, going with their classic smoke out of base.
What's up, Div? What do you do?
They do this every game. Radiant, meanwhile, are splitting up. Some heroes going bottom, Dawn going top to grab the or the Watcher, but she'll be running back to find her own team.
They did see them do this last game. Will they expect it a second time? Disruptor in a rough spot, but the rest of the Radiant do seem to be positioned to
they
tussle if it comes to
take the Watcher, so they know something's up. Ooh, got a fight here.
Ooh, here it comes. Axe is going out.
This could be a big
A
fissure.
little bit of Arctic burn. Is the Fisher getting a good split there?
Splits up the team.
Timbersaw and Slardar are getting home. The
Tiny goes down,
Beastmaster is the
though.
one who goes down first. Looks like Timber gets very low, but they're choosing to chase down the Slardar instead.
SLA gets out of there very low HP. Not going to be good for lane.
Dire did manage to get the first blood there, I believe, so
Yep. But
a little bit of a
overall,
favor towards them, but not by much.
yeah, only like a 60 gold difference between the two kills.
It looks like it's going to be an even rune split as well as we go into the laning phase.
So in this game, we will just introduce the players. Once again, we have Breaker on the Gyrocopter, position 1. Icicle Disruptor, position 5. Emu is going to be your position 4 Winter Wyvern on the side of Dire. And Dimitri, it's going to be the offlaner for Dire on the Slardar. In the mid lane, going to be Beastmaster, run by Bulljax, and contested by SLA on the Timbersaw. In the top lane, we have Granola playing Pause 1 Tiny, supported by Crasheroni, Alice 5 Potom. And then they're facing off against the Mercy Dawnbreaker 3, supported by Moosey on the Earthshaker. I think top has extremely high kill potential. Tons of burst damage coming out from both sides. Mid lane, I think it's very similar. I think these heroes, two melee heroes, kind of just want to walk at each other and kill each other. And in the bottom lane, Disruptor is always dangerous with a hero like Gyrocopter, where if you get on top of them, you just do so much damage. And Wyvern's pretty squishy, pretty slow, so if she ever gets out of position for the glimpse, it's going to be pretty easy to kill her off.
Certainly, certainly.
I expect a lot of blood here in the first, or in the laning phase.
Yeah, it seems like it's been a little bit of a slugfest down bottom here. Both of the Dire heroes at about half HP. We get a crush going off on the Gyrocopter, but he's taking a lot of damage from the Disruptor Q and the Gyro. Getting awfully low. Top seems relatively stable. Calm, maybe a better word. With Shaker chasing the
Slardar
bottom
getting
around.
low.
Ooh, Slardar is getting very low.
Oh, gets
Ooh.
cold embraced under tower.
Hate to see that.
This is a mistake.
Getting awfully low. Gets the stun off, though. Disruptor. The right click goes up, but it isn't enough to take him down.
Gyro's got flax soon. Could right click him.
Ooh. Looks like he's just out of vision. Or out of range. Sorry, not vision. Both teams in the bottom lane very low on resources here. Mana pool's depleted. Winter Wyvern's got about half, but not a lot of HP to play with. Seems like pretty even in the mid lane. What are the last hits looking like? Looks like Timbersaw has a very slight last hit advantage
Dire should look to their middle tower.
over the Beastmaster, which has now been evened up.
It's only a couple
Oh.
of CS. Not that significant.
Ah, he might have killed one of the boar, perhaps.
Tiny getting low top. 300 HP.
Yeah, a lot of harass going on here. Not too much action. So what do you think the early game plans are for both these teams?
If I'm on Radiant, Gyro's kind of the win factor. Oh, no, wait, no, he's... Oh, no, he's the carry. Yeah,
He's on
sorry.
already, yeah.
Yeah, so I feel like Gyro's the sort of the win condition, or at least the guy in your back pocket. Like if you're able to get.
I'm sorry to
farm on him.
interrupt there, but Earthshaker getting awfully low. Potom goes for the leap, but he does blow a Lotus there.
Yeah, I was able. I
Like
was
he might be
watching
getting
that.
killed.
Don't think he was really in any kind of real danger there. He dodged the arrow. Gyro is your win condition, and you have the early game like ultimates, like big CCs to win team fights with Call Down and Echo Slam and Roar and Solar Guardian. So I think Radiant definitely have like the tools to win early game team fights, and then they have a hero like Gyrocopter to be able to do something late game. Once he gets like Daedalus Satanic, you can just sit high ground and right click and just delete the enemy team.
Ooh, Slardar getting pretty low in the bottom lane here. Gets glimpsed back, he's awfully low.
Let's get it. Oh, the Cold Embrace.
Cold Embrace, very nice.
Gyro needs
Do
to
they have
reposition.
the juice to take him down? Oh, just getting away with 0 HP again.
He's having
Yeah,
a hard
looks
time
like
laning.
he
though.
is headed home to heal up,
Yeah,
allowing Wyvern to get some solo XP.
he isn't dying, but he is the lowest CS on the cores, so this is hurting him. On top, we have a Dawn jumping on top of the Tiny. She used both her abilities. Earthshaker wasn't in position though. Didn't have Fissure up anyway. I feel like on the side of Dire, their team fight is a little bit harder to execute. Like their initiation is basically like Slaughter or Tiny blinks the target, stuns him, and then followed up by like Timbersaw bursting him. Or like those three heroes working together to find something. And if there's ever like a group effort on the side of Radiant, like Earthshaker, Roar, Dawn all jumping in, Gyro jumping in all at the same time, then you can counteract with the Winner's Curse. But it's just a lot harder to like mass damage heroes on the side of Dire. So
Right.
they do need to work harder to coordinate bringing down specific targets and recognizing what those specific targets are. Earthshaker getting chased by a bottom top.
Yeah, he sniped her courier, and now he's getting awfully low. Arrow manages to find a dodge there and sneaks into the pit to get away. With 80 HP, and he is TPing home. A lot of close calls so far this game.
Maybe a lack of follow-up. Kind of like those long duration disables or short cooldown disables. It's like in the bottom lane. I guess you have the kinetic field, but once you do your disruptor combo, there's like no follow-up at all. The cooldowns are too long.
Right.
And in the top lane, it's like tiny combo, bottom arrow. We have a fight on the top Wisdom Shrine actually. Will there be any rotations for this? Earthshaker's gonna die if he's
Shaker's
left
got his
alone.
cooldowns here.
Yeah, we
Here's the
got
stun.
reinforcements coming.
He's
up.
living for now.
He's gonna
he does
die
go
for
down,
this.
but they'll
Ah.
take the bottom out with the TP response from Disruptor.
Absolutely worth.
The Beastmaster came as well. Interesting.
fortified their structures against attack.
Timbersaw pretty content to just saw at this tower. Looks like he might be hanging around to try something mid.
This is an extremely difficult kill on the Timbersaw. Beastmaster doesn't
I'm
really
not
have
sure.
the damage to solo kill heroes until he gets his Aghanims.
Oh, he's probably stacking the triangle. Yeah, there he is. Camping the rune too, maybe?
No rune.
Precarious position here as we get the TP in from the
Oh,
bottom.
the arrow.
Doesn't manage to hit the arrow. The glimpse doesn't really do anything, and they do manage to find the kill on the Beastmaster. Chasing into the triangle doesn't hit the timber chain, and it looks like they've decided to fall back.
Earthshaker mid, even if it hasn't.
Shaker and Wyvern also showed up a little late to the fight to throw some spells at each other.
Yeah, sports have just rotated over here trying to get some XP mid while the Beastmaster's dead. Their ultimates are very important.
Ooh, looks like they're having a go at the Earthshaker here. Kinetic field, he's getting awfully low.
Will Timber commit? He's full
He
HP.
chains in. Beast is back, gets the roar off on the Wyvern, and we'll take her down. Fisher used, and it looks like the Timber is going to be able to walk away here.
Yeah, Timber's unkillable. It doesn't mean his allies are, though. So, Wyvern just getting caught out of position under tower.
He's been put in jail.
Bit of a
And
fight
he
over
walks away.
top Lotus. A little bit of back and forth jumping.
Oh,
Gets
nice
there.
arrow catch. Do they have the follow-up to take her down, though? Tazas are back towards the bottom. Bottom getting awfully low. Earthshaker's here to help, though, now. And they will be deterred.
Well, they ran out of spells. There was no follow-up.
Right. And he's got an avalanche.
Well, he didn't have it for them.
I see.
Wyvern rotating up here. It's maxed out the Splinter Blast.
Looks like they've got the catch on the Dawn. She's awfully low, and she goes down. Wyvern getting low. Scepter and Earthshaker, just nothing to do here, though. Need to get the ults on those guys as soon as possible.
Looking at last hits, it seems like Timber won his lane pretty hard. Gyro's a little bit advantaged, and well, he has more CS in the bottom lane, but the Beast Slardar ended up with more denies. And the top lane was
Dawn's
fairly
back
even.
top, but Timber's TPing in. Oh, they find the catch on her, getting a nice arrow off, and it looks like she's going to be going down right after respawning.
That's unfortunate.
Oh, she's low, but she's...
Oh!
Yeah, there she goes. There
Almost
she goes.
dodged.
And it looks like they found maybe a disruptor as well. Field is keeping them off for now, though. Those supports are going to be getting the hell out of there. Very unfortunate for Dawn, TPing in just to die right away.
She does have the ultimate if she wants to use that to get back to lane. I don't know if it's worth, though. Just these Radiant supports can't really do much until they get their 6s. They're both level 5 right now. Yeah, pretty close to their 6s, but they kind of want to avoid fights until they get those. Timbersaw, not really killable at this moment in the game. Does a ton of damage. So he shows up to a lane. I just feel like if you're on Radiant, you just gotta run.
Yeah.
Gyro's been kind of bullied out of lane a little bit down here once Slardar got his corrosive phase. So the net worth is starting to favor Slardar, or at least the last hits are. Let's go over to net worth. Yeah, Slardar is out farming his gyrocopter counterpart. I would go bottom on this.
Like they're pushing Dire, are pushing into the bottom tower there. Not much to be done about that.
Yeah, trying to watch top and bottom as both.
Yeah.
Both,
Earthshaker is getting awfully low there.
Oh, Echo!
Echo comes down, but he does get killed.
Counter initiate.
Bottom goes down.
In the bottom lane.
Timber's here.
Wyvern's
Timber's here for
out of
blood.
position.
I don't think she knows. Oh, she goes for the ult bottom. Manages to pick off Wyvern with the gyrocopter there, and they're trying to see if they can pick off this Slardar. He's very fast in the river, though. Will they find him? Looks like they do find him, and the
Nice
roar will
roar.
cancel that TP, and he's going to go down. Very nice work by the Radiant. Very nice play by Dawn, using that ult to save her life and get into that scuffle bottom.
That was definitely needed on the side of Donald Duck, trying to even up
Absolutely.
this early game advantage that.
Timber chasing down this Earthshaker in the mid lane. Your response coming in from the gyrocopter, and Timber seems to be content to get the hell out of there.
Beastmaster flanking tiny top. I don't know if this is gonna turn into anything. Oh, Disruptor did die bottom. I didn't think anything was happening down there. Because the Wyvern is pretty far away, but I guess he just got a little low there. Bottom ult used defensively. Looks like it was just a Wyvern in bottom finding the Disruptor, yeah, this is probably a Sacred Arrow. The Fountain
Gotcha.
Kill. Just looking at the spells used.
So, for the Dire, what do you think? Are they waiting for the Slardar to get a blink before they get really active here, or?
Gotta go bottom on the Wyvern.
Yeah,
That's your
Oh,
question
committed on
second.
Wyvern. Starbreaker comes out. It looks like they will find the pickup on the Wyvern here. Bottom does have a leap available, so she's probably out of here. Oh, Glimpse coming out, though. Thought
Okay,
that was used
Glimpse.
earlier.
Do they have follow-up? 3 seconds
They've
kinetic
got
field.
a Celestial Hammer.
Kinetic
They've got
field.
the Gyro as well, and there they go. Catching the bottom.
Top lane, we have a Roar come out on the Tiny.
He's getting awfully low. Tossing him back, though.
Yeah, he's very
Timber's
slow.
here. Timber's here for
Yeah,
blood.
we have rotations here. Beastmaster
Beastmaster
needs to get out of there.
turns into a pig and runs.
Beast
Earthshaker with a
Earthshaker
nice
running
hit.
in.
Comes in. Doesn't catch
Waiting,
any spells.
waiting.
Getting stunned the
Ah.
entirety of his life. Oh, you hate
The
to see it.
humanity.
Oh, no.
Oh, he had a plan. He had a plan there.
Mr. President, get down.
The plan did not
Beastmaster.
execute.
Threw his life away to save the Beastmaster there.
Is under attack.
All right, I completely forgot what your question was. Can you repeat what your question was?
I was wondering if we're
Radiant's middle
waiting for the Slardar Blink, which it looks like he has
Yeah.
it now,
It's got the blink.
to see some action from the Dire. I would expect them to be sort of grouping up and pushing now.
I'd expect them to go after the Tormentor at this time. With the Slardar Corrosive Haze. They can push this tower. They actually do want to push this tower first, just so Radiant can't do any kind of TP counter shenanigans. But yeah, it looks like Dire just kind of like setting up, waiting for someone to show. And they're probably going to go on the next target that shows. Curious to see there's no ward behind the tower.
Yeah,
gotta find
looks
an
like they
Earthshaker.
found the Earthshaker, and he is just going down.
Yeah.
Falls to the Slardar there. Not much you can do in that position.
Expect this is going to be a tower into Tormentor.
Yeah, Bottom's already walking uphill, dewarding.
Gyrocopter went Falcon Blade, Chrysalis, so going the kind of standard early game damage items. Help accelerate his farm. Going Ags next, just another farm accelerator. You don't really see Gyros
Tower falls.
like right click effectively in fights until they finish up that Ags. Like they kind of just want to like be farming the whole time. We have a
Yeah.
rotation top actually.
Interesting. Looking for a pick on the Beastmaster, I suppose?
Yeah, so no Tormentor. Ooh, Beastmaster's gonna show. He has no allies.
Oh,
here.
nice bait by the Tiny, getting him out of position, and Slardar is there to capitalize. Timber getting the kill ultimately, and it looks like they're going to have a good time pushing down this tower here.
This is a sick. This was a sick rotation actually, because like you expect Dire to be taking the Tormentor after that, right?
Yeah, very nice
no.
play.
5-man rotation top to kill the Beastmaster and pick up another tier 1 tower. The Tormentor can wait. Tier 1 towers, those are valuable.
Looks like they will trade the mid tower for it, though. Not all is lost. Oh, but Timber's here, ready to defend his property.
Oh, the glimpse was just
On's awfully low.
not long enough.
Got a Timber chain available.
Slardars
Looks like he's
nearby.
choosing to save it. Goes uphill, gets flipped, unfortunately, but destroys the trees. And it looks like Dawn is out of there.
Didn't have vision to connect to that corrosive haze. Oh, Timber is gonna find Dawn.
agreed though. Agreed though. Getting that farming on the way home.
Staying for one camp too many.
Radiant's middle tower is
Brutal.
under attack. Dire's middle tower is under attack.
And Dire's gonna look to take this last tier 1. These tier 1s are valuable. It reduces your ability to farm the map. And Gyro really is just in pure farming mode at this point. I expect Dire to either do like some kind of smoke play or go bottom to try and take the Tormentor. They could also Roshan at this time, which looks like they're headed over to it. Rosh is pretty slow, I feel, even with the Corrosive Haze. They don't really have that much right-click damage to kill it.
It looks like they will be spotted by the Disruptor, but they've instead decided to charge up into the Radiant Triangle.
Yeah, Disruptor had a ward down on the stairwell, the entrance of the triangle, so he could see. Heck, we have a kill bottom. Granola just, without blink, walking up and killing that Earthshaker. How did he get that kill?
I'm not sure. I was watching the action top thinking that Disruptor was in danger, but really, it was Earthshaker.
It's just a simple combo. We're watching
Yeah,
the
it
pack.
does a tremendous amount of damage, that Avalanche toss.
Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous. Well, it does at least 1200 because that's what how much HP he has. Assuming he wasn't one. They're gonna find this Disruptor with an arrow.
So nice pick off by the supports on the Dire.
Has been eyeing your mount all day.
Tip coming out.
Yeah, just tipping for the arrow. Friendly teammate.
It's a good arrow. You don't see a lot of positive reinforcement tips. So
I believe this league bans enemy tips, actually.
that's nice.
It can only be in team. Some leagues do it differently. They're gonna find a tiny bottom,
Yeah.
but his eyes are nearby.
Gyrocopter, doing quite a bit of damage, but they've just got so much CC for the tiny. Echo comes out, nice Echo on the bottom, and the Slardar. They go into a
Wyvern
route, but a
Curse.
very nice Winter's
Oh,
Curse
it's
takes
bad.
out the Gyrocopter. Timber's here, and he's here for blood. It's the pick.
Disruptor
Bottom
combo.
getting awfully low, Slardar getting awfully low, Beastmaster just doing damage. Oh my goodness, the Fisher goes crazy.
This is
And
what
the Disruptor is going to be there to try to take out that bottom and will get her with the, looks like the last tick of that Thunderstrike. Very nice fight for the Radiant there.
Excellent stun stacking to bring down that tiny. Those roar into Dawnbreaker Solar Guardian. Able to burst him down at the start of the fight. It looked really bad once the Timber got there, but this is what I was talking about without like the kind of CC that Radiant has. Dire just lacks the ability to kill teams. They have the ability to kill heroes, but not teams. And you saw there just like how much damage that Earthshaker did with all those clumped up heroes.
Right. Devastating stuff.
You know. Beastmaster now has picked up his Blink Dagger, so a little bit easier on the initiations. Dire does have a ward in the top lane, which showed 2 or 3 heroes, I believe, so they're pretty confident down here in the bottom lane. Just kind of poking around. Disruptor.
Slardar getting close to the Ags. I'm surprised we're not seeing BKBs queued up for the Dire. Ags. Tiny doesn't have anything queued up. BKBs are going to be pretty important for them, I suppose.
Gyro's in danger here.
Yeah, smoke play, blink initiated. He's taking a lot of damage, but he's still alive. Dawnbreaker does have
Allies
ult.
are
Seems like
nearby.
she's choosing not to use it. Earthshaker's here, though.
10 seconds on the Echo.
Disruptor's here. Pyro finding his way out
Oh,
of the fight.
Zero HP
Beastmaster's getting
Slardar.
pretty low. Gets the roar off on Tiny.
Nice pick by the Disruptor.
Still very surprised we're not seeing Dawn. Finally, the Dawnbreaker ult comes in. Winter's Curse goes to catch the Beastmaster.
Oh, the
as
stun
Timber
saved the
chases
gyro.
the gyro. Oh, but no, that Earthshaker's not letting him. Solo echoes on the Timber. Timber's getting awfully low. Dies to the
Gyro.
glimpse, it looks like
Flag.
Gyro picked him off.
Yeah, the
And
flag. It's doing
Dire
so
are in a rout here. Tiny just trying to get the hell out of there. Standing uphill. Maybe thinking she can save him, but she just can't. The Fisher takes out the Tiny. Rock on rock.
Gyro got saved there by a stun on the Timbersaw. Timbersaw was chaining onto his face. He was about to chain Q combo him to death. But some stun came out to prevent the chain. I don't know what it was. It may have been a homing missile. But that kept the Gyro alive, and then Gyro was able to turn around and just help to bring down these heroes on the side of Dire. Just that
Yeah,
one
beautiful,
stun
beautiful
turned the
peel by
fight.
that Earthshaker.
Yeah. I don't know if this is the Earthshaker. I don't think it was. There's no one near the Timber, but it was
The solo echo went off on the Timber. I don't think he was the
Yeah.
stun you're talking about, but that stun let Gyro live long enough for Earthshaker to get in there and save him.
yeah. Just easier to execute these team fights as Radiant. Dire, you have to worry about, like, who do I Wyvern Curse? Okay, how are we stun stacking with the Slider and Tiny? Who's the Tiny bursting? With Radiant? Nah. Call down. Echo Slam. Disruptor ult. Doesn't matter who. Just drop that shit.
So that's two fights that seemed to favor the Radiant. How do you think this will affect Dire's play?
They're going to play a little bit more cautiously. They have been playing around Tormentor, acting like they wanted to take it with the Slardar. I feel like they need the Tiny nearby to be able to take it, though. They kind of lack right-click damage to be able to do that. Tormentor feels like it's not really on the table.
Ooh, smoke
this
play
point.
coming off from the Radiant. They might catch this Wyvern here, and gets the blink out. Very nice. Sorry, carry on.
Yeah, so Dire knows that they have a hard time killing heroes right now. They just lack follow-up damage, and it's getting even harder. With all these lost fights and the more items that come the way of Radiant's cores. And this gyro eventually is going to be a problem. And ideally you burst him. He's going to get his BKB pretty soon though, so you have to burst it before his BKB pops off. I feel like if you're able to burst the gyro without clumping up so hard that you just get destroyed by a counter-initiate Echo Slam Static Storm combo, that's your avenue to victory. Just you have to be able to bring down this gyro, I feel. Or one of the team fight supports. Like gyro, Earthshaker, Disruptor. Pick off one of those heroes and your team fight is a lot easier. You just gotta be like super aware of positioning. Because you can't clump versus this team. Ooh, go on bottom, drops the Static Storm, almost gets SLA, but runs away with the haste. Excellent reactions by the actually it looks like there is offensive tipping.
Ooh.
That was sick.
Yeah. Nice out there. And it seems like for now, both teams content to just farm up. Looks like Beastmaster headed towards a Shiva. The Gyrocopter headed for Revenant's Brooch. How do you feel about Revenant's Brooch as an item?
It is a strong item to deal with high armor heroes.
Yeah, certainly good against this team. You got Tiny, you got Timber, very high armor guys. Slardar.
Smoke on Radiant, trying to find Tiny. We'll dodge. This feels like an ideal situation for Dia, though. If they're able to take a fight around their towers where they can have TV rotations in, and ideally if they have like vision up to be able to see these supports on Radiant, this could turn out to be a good fight. Gyro's going to be sitting in front of his team, right-clicking the tower down. That's the hero you want to burst. So they got blink, no blink on Tiny just yet though, so they kind of have to wait for the Slardar to start something. But just not in position.
The tower goes down, but not much of a fight.
Yeah, I feel like they wanted to fight there. That was what the bottom ult was for. But I think Slardar just didn't get there in time. Because that's
Timber was a little out of position as well.
Yeah.
I suppose he has TP, but...
He wasn't going to TP unless the fight started, I feel.
Yeah.
He was happy down here cutting the wave and, farming with the jungle camps completely free.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Gyro has the Revenant's Roche, has the BK. This guy is super farmed. He's going to go Tonic next. Just try and, have an option after the Dire team tries to burst him to just heal up to full. Because if he stays alive in fights, it's going to be so hard for Dire to win. Earthshaker.
Trouble's brewing here at the mid tower. No Tiny.
Yeah. Timber's going to start the fight.
Timber goes in, starts harassing the Gyrocopter. Spells are thrown, but nothing decisive yet. Tiny might be finding the Dawnbreaker over here. Looks like they just barely avoid each other. And it seems like the Radiant are backing out.
So here's the issue. Dire's 3 initiators are all melee. You got the Slardar, you got the Timbersaw, you got the Tiny. They need to burst this Gyro in fights. Like, he's the one sitting in front of his team. He's the one hitting towers. He's the one doing all the damage. Outside the Echo Slam, whatever. But if you commit those 3 heroes to try and kill the Gyro,
here's the Roshan. It looks like Dire are aware of it.
You're setting up to just...
Bottom's arrow gets caught. I'm not sure what caught it, but there was a creep there to catch it. Must have been one of the boars.
Blocks the stairwell.
Roche is awfully low. Pyro's looking for something. Corrosive Haze coming out.
Point is, it's so hard to jump this gyro with Disruptor,
Yeah.
Echo Slam, and Dawnbreaker.
Checking the pit.
I don't think either team wants to be the one to start
Yeah,
the fight.
it's... Any misstep could be catastrophic here. The arrow finds the Earthshaker, not really any avail. Might scare the Radiant off with the Roshan, though. It is down on 3,000 HP.
If I were Dawn, I'd be going bottom. I'd be pushing out this lane all the way to tower. Because she can just ult into fights.
Dire are in the pit. They've smacked Roshan. They're walking out of the pit.
Yeah, this kind of stall situation, you want your Dawn to be trying to apply pressure.
Yeah. Bell's going out. Looks like Dire has the vision advantage right now. Very tricky position here. Looks like they've managed to catch the Dawnbreaker in the top jungle here. He pops.
Creep blocks the arrow.
Starbreaker.
Disruptor ult.
Ooh, Disruptor, big ult. Catches the Slardar out of position. He's getting awfully low there. Rest of the team are here. They're clumping up a little bit.
We're
This
on
could
the
be a big
bottom.
Echo Slam. Beastmaster's there, roaring at him.
Sorry, goes down.
Spells are going down. Ult's going. BKB out on the Tiny. Finds the kill on Beastmaster. Wyvern goes down to the Gyrocopter. They'll catch the Dawn. It's a bloodbath up here in the top lane. Gyro, big BKB, and a big Echo Slam comes in to finish off the Dawnbreaker. The Dire, low, very low HP, are doing the best they can to get the hell out of there, but there's 3 guys here trying to take this Timber Saw down.
Timber's scary. eh?
Earthshaker, very low from that Chakram.
Getting home in
Disruptor
this
not
lane.
giving up there, gets a nice glimpse, and here comes Gyro to finish the job. Finally, that Timber Saw goes down.
Tormentor killing Disruptor. Unable to TP out.
Oh, Pyrrhic victory.
It had
the
no
Radiant.
spells for it. Alright. So the fight begins on the Beastmaster at the Slardar. But they just turn around. Heroes kind of filter in.
Yeah, very well done by the Radiant there.
You think
I was
Tiny?
sh- I-
You think Tiny needs a Blink Dagger? He's going Shadowblade actually. He needs some kind of initiation item. He can't just be walking in all the time. Before it comes out of
Got a roar
Slardar.
on the Slardar here. Beastmaster taking a lot of punishment for it, though. Comes the bottom ult as the fight begins again.
And no Echo
Beastmaster awfully low. Will manage to take out the Wyvern, though.
is a bad
Aegis
fight for
popped.
Radiant.
Slardar's in there. They're going to try to get the Gyro, and they do manage to take him out here. Awfully low, though. Earthshaker doing a lot of damage, but does not have enough to kill the Slardar.
This was a great
It
call
looks
by
like-
Dire. Like,
Yeah,
Disruptor was
absolutely.
dead, no Echo Slam. Your heroes still have their abilities, because you're pretty low cooldown. Like, just go into the Roche pit, force a fight, have the enemy come over to you, and fight in the river where the Slaughter can have full advantage of his items. Like, just really good game awareness on that fight. And Radiant just took the bait, hook, line, and sinker.
Yeah.
So Tiny recognized that he had an initiation problem, so he picked up the Shadow Blade. That makes this hero infinitely scarier because now you have to worry about a Tiny showing up in your lane if you're split pushing.
Yeah.
'Cause
I
he is-
believe he was building towards that earlier, but decided to go for the BKB instead before.
It just goes the way of Tiny. So I imagine once they get the resources back on Dire, they will start pressing and trying to take some of these outer towers.
Yeah, Tiny just knocks those towers down like nothing. Pretty tight gold-wise, net worth-wise. Pretty tight game, honestly.
9-second BKB picked up by Slardar. And a
That's pretty
smoke
big.
bottom. Yep. So once they got their resources back, they've clumped up and are hunting. Might find a Dawn down here if she's not careful. Slider shows mid. They show the bottom ult actually, so they know something's happening on Radiant.
Looks like Dawn manages to retreat back into the base there.
Does she leave? Dyer's in the area.
Might be something here. If they catch that gyro, that could be huge, but there is follow-up. All the ults are available for the Radiant.
Yeah, Radiant can feel something's happening. They're they're
On
poised.
the ground.
I don't think you have a jump target to go on other than like Wyvern. I
It
guess
might
you
be
start
nice to
on
pick
Wyvern.
off.
Ooh, gyro's showing. You start on him.
Avalanche comes out, Disruptor gets caught in it, but gets a pretty nice ult off. There goes the Echo Slam, and it's just damage coming out from the Radiant. Dire are just melting to those huge teamfight ults.
Oh, Beastmaster drums doing so much damage to the Timber
There
Saw.
goes Timber Saw, Aegis down.
Tiny with BKB, no tree in his
He
hand
comes
though.
out for
Packing a lot of damage.
Gyrocopter is just
Flak
plonking
bringing
away
down.
at him.
Ooh, Slardar just dying to the flak, unable to blink out or in.
Yeah, Potom and Tiny managed to sneak away. But that's a devastating fight for the Dire.
That's one downside of putting the Aegis on Tiny. If he pops low and there's still a fight going on, he doesn't have a tree in his hands, which gives him that splash damage. Pretty important. I think it would have actually helped him a lot in that fight because he was hitting 2 Radiant Heroes that are clumped up. The Wyvern just got popped early on, just dying without getting her ultimate off or anything. And yeah, I feel like just going on the gyro was not the correct play. For the BKB Satanic, you have to be able to burst his full 3,400 HP. Otherwise, he just lives.
Very tough fight for the Radiant. I mean, you've got Static Storm, Fissures, Echo Slams,
Yep.
Celestial Hammers flying at you from all directions, just melting your HP bars away.
That is an Ag's Static Storm, by the way, so that is going to be muting items, preventing BKBs. Look at the graph. Net worth has been a little bit back and forth this game, although it's currently favoring Radiant. Only 3k though. I feel like Dire has the ability to burst this gyro. They just have to coordinate extremely well to do it, and it's just, you know, hard to do that in a game like this with the counter initiate from like Beastmaster Roar, with Fissure Echo Slam, with the muting Static Storm. Just like you have to be like so pinpoint perfect with bursting down these heroes, like blinking in like with BKB to not get just screwed over by those abilities.
Yeah, that initial Static Storm caught, I believe, 4. Basically with their pants down.
Yeah, 3 or 4. Even if they didn't like stay inside of it with the kinetic field, it just prevents them from doing anything. They have to run away. They have to zone out, and so just the initiation on the gyrocopter led to nowhere, and he's able to turn.
A bit of a smoke play coming in from Dire. They're hoping to find a pick
They have
here.
a sentry on the ground. They see him
Oh, a Static Storm comes out.
zoning.
Slardar did manage to get the BKB off, and Winter's Curse manages to take out the Disruptor. There's a little bit of a fight between Tiny and Beastmaster. Echo goes down, chunks down the Potom and the Tiny, but it's just not enough to take him out. Pyro's still standing tall there, charging in with the Rocket Barrage against Tiny and Potom,
App detection.
trying to find their way out of there.
Yeah, what's the play after this? You have creeps mid, or you have creeps bottom. You could push out the bottom, take out that last tier too.
I'm always a proponent of finishing off the outers before you walk uphill.
I agree, it's the easiest, and you can transition into more racks one. It looks like that's what they're going to do. It just seemed like the natural play. They're in the area. The creeps, that was the lane they had the most push in. And that is the
Right.
last remaining tower. So, free tower. Tiny's still dead for 50. If they want, they can try and force something high ground. They have no Disruptor. They have no Echo Slam.
I'd be surprised if they didn't go high ground here.
They have no Solar Grind. They lack their team fight ults is the thing. So, it really depends on how confident they feel in this Gyrocopter.
He's got a almost 6 slotted, basically. probably wants to trade those treads for Swift Blink, but other than that, I mean, he's pretty much full power
Ooh,
here.
catch
And
on
they
the
charge
Slardar.
in, getting to pick on the Winter Wyvern. Slardar gets caught.
Tiny holding buyback. Buys back
Kimmy
now.
comes out from the Dawnbreaker. She will
Nice
get
finish
cursed,
curse.
and I don't think she's going down here, but she's getting awfully low. Tiny coming in to finish her off with the Avalanche. Timber charging in, and they've got the Gyro separated from his team here. He could be in danger, but he is managing to hold his own. Timber trying to fight the Beastmaster and gets him right before he can TP out. Tiny coming to smack down Gyrocopter, and it looks like they will be taking him down here. After a while. Tanky guy.
He popped flak, so he didn't have mana for teleport.
Oh, unfortunate.
That fight was a
Great fight by the Dire.
Yeah, it was a good initiation. They got the Wyvern. They got the Slardar. In fact, they needed to like run away after that. Though once they got the buybacks on Wyvern and Tiny, because they did not have Echo Slam for that fight. It was 10-second cooldown when Earthshaker died, and Disruptor was still dead during the duration of that fight. So without those supports, with those massive team fight ults, they just lack the crowd control that they need for this Gyro to be fully leveraged.
Mm-hmm. DD on the Tiny. Always scary.
Yep, and they're gonna run mid. Try and smash down this first tier 2 for them.
Poor tower doesn't stand a chance.
Bop, bop, bop,
Bam.
bop.
Oh,
fort.
they got a fort for
We'll
it.
keep it alive. And that's gonna be
Got a few
free
more
for it.
seconds alive. Say your last words.
No Gyro, no team fight. So
And there it goes.
Radiant's middle tower is no
I was smoke up by Radiant. I feel like this is a bit early. You don't want to do anything without the Gyrocopter. You could drop a fortification on this bottom tower if you wanted. I mean, DD Tiny, do you want to fight into this thing?
Not at all. No, I would imagine you just... I've kind of figured that smoke would be so that they could get out and cut the wave, but... Seems like they're just positioning.
Yeah. It was the right call not leaving base, even if they...
Lucian is alive. Dire's in the area. Are they interested, is the question.
I think both teams are interested. Smoke's gonna be used.
The Radiant Smoke. Looks like they're charging towards the pit.
Dire does
Gyro's
have
in the pit.
Yeah, Dire does have a ward here, so they know what's going on. Radiant does not have vision.
Arrow comes out and hits the Gyrocopter. He's taking some good damage from the Chakram and the Roshan. He's half HP just off of that.
Watch out for the Wyvern ult.
Ooh, a little close call down bottom there. Close call
Tiny
in the river. Another arrow coming. Doesn't find a target. But it has put the Radiant on the back foot. Oh, the blink in looking for a curse, but gets hit by the neutral item, the Mindbreaker.
baits the
from the
Gyro
side gunner.
BKB though. Timbersaw forced to BKB after Disruptor combos.
And he's smacking the Gyro. Timber's in up on the Disruptor. Looks like he's getting pretty low there. His ult was committed to sort of middling effect, and he will go down.
They have to back out on Radiant.
Radiant's in a tough spot here. Yeah, they need to get the hell out of here quick.
Gyro should be Satanic.
Timber's on the Gyro.
Oh, we have a buyback.
On ult, we got the Disruptor.
Huge
No
echo!
ult. Huge
The
echo
counter
slam.
initiate Wyvern Curse!
There's curse going on the Beastmaster. He's getting pretty low. Dire, not feeling so confident anymore. Still no deaths from them. Earthshaker is down.
No BKB Gyro. They're chasing the Timber.
Timber's trying to get out of there.
He has Glimpse.
Getting low.
No Wyvern
And
Curse.
he's down.
though. Yeah.
Nice pick off by the Radiant. Compensation prize.
Did they buy back Dawnbreaker?
I don't believe so.
Yeah.
I think it was just the Disruptor buyback.
It's a tight game.
Yeah. Absolute slugfest. Both teams obviously plan to win, plan to survive another set of the tournament. Elimination is at stake here, so gotta give it your all. Roshan goes down, and we've got the Aegis on Gyrocopter as Beastmaster and Dawnbreaker try to chase down that bottom.
Meanwhile, on the bottom lane, Sardar's getting out of position. Disruptor comes in.
Got a nice ult off on him, and it looks like he's getting glimpsed back into the storm.
Yeah, no
Ooh,
BKB.
Roar goes down too, and they're just taking him down. Pretty big advantage here, I think, for the Radiant. Yeah, but the creeps are not in a good position to push with. We do still have Aegis on Copter.
Tiny's capturing Wisdom next to Earthshaker. Don't go high ground, Earthshaker. You'll die.
Please, please.
Alright, so Aegis Gyrocopter. He's got Butterfly. Backpack the Revenant Brooch of all things. I feel like you want to swap out that for the Treads. But regardless, you have 20 seconds cooldown remaining on Disruptors. So this is going to be their first high ground push where they actually have all their abilities.
Still 30 seconds left on the respawn for Slardar.
Yep. If they do choose
Radiant
to
making the moves towards the bottom lane.
Ooh, arrow.
Cheeky arrow. I don't think it's
You can't commit
much
on this
effect.
though. It's Aegis. And you have to go low ground to do anything though.
just trying to buy time for Slardar to be alive.
Yeah, Dawn needs to go bottom and grab this wave bot. Try and help push it out.
Gyro's a little bit alone up here in the mid lane. Disruptor comes in, gets a nice static
Tiny's
storm
trying to
off
find
on
the
the Tiny.
tunnels.
Here's the Dawnbreaker ult. He's not alone, it was just a ruse.
Throwing
A
so
lot
much
of
shit
guns
to bring
on
him
the
down.
Tiny. He's getting us so low. But the Winter's Curse on the Dawnbreaker will allow him to get the hell out of there.
Echo's still online. It's the last big team fight available.
Radiant playing especially carefully. It's a very delicate high ground push here.
It's a 5v5 now. Drops a tonic. Arrow.
Here comes the arrow. Arrow's on Gyro. Force him out though.
Ooh, he's a little far. Nice job getting that obs and biz.
What do you think the plan is for Dire here? Just wait for a misstep or...
They have to wait. They have to wait for Radiant to do something. I think
We've got Tiny out here
Yeah.
looking for maybe some kind of a pickoff.
I do like this play. I mean, Gyro's going to be sitting in front, so if you're able to like burst this Earthshaker so he's out of the fight, that's just massive. But you will be caught out of position on the Tiny if you do that, so you have to be ready on Dire to back him up. Also with the 20 seconds cooldown on BKB. He didn't want to make that play. All team fight ults available now. Because I feel like Radiant should really be pushing the bottom lane because that's the one without the tower. It's a lot easier to take that Rex. And both sides kind of splitting up.
Yeah, kind of surprised to see
A soldier's fortune.
so many of the Dire out of base here with this looming threat of Gyro Cup. Oh yeah, here come the TPs, I guess. Beastmaster going in on the
Oh,
Wyvern.
that ult.
Big Disruptor ult.
Oh,
Just gonna
both
take out the supports there. No cores to save them.
Oh, the glimpse on Dimitri. Oh no, he's out of
Very
base.
nice.
He
Buyback
didn't
coming out
know.
from bottom.
I don't know if his BKB was on cooldown, but he just got glimpsed out of base. He has to run back now.
Very unfortunate. Well, he's pretty fast, guy, so.
He has blink. What is he?
They're over there. Oh, whoa.
Caught.
Chasing him down. He's invisible. Gyrocopter gets a nice BKB off right before that arrow hits, and he is manning up against Tiny.
Yeah, he's not gonna win. Or Tiny's not gonna win that.
Yeah, no, unfortunately not. Taking a ton of damage. Slardar gets stunned. Echo Slammer comes in, doing tons of damage. And they're going to eventually take down the Slardar. Oh, he's got buyback, though. Fight's not over yet. Fire are trying to mop this up as best they can. Looks
No
like
left
they're
alone.
hoping to take out the Dawnbreaker, and it looks like they might get her.
Nice fissure.
Oh, very nice fissure, yeah, but she goes down to the pure damage from that Timber Saw. Nothing to sneeze at. Primal Roar goes off on the Timber as Gyro is just plonking away at him. Very tanky fellow, though. Will manage to Timber Chain out.
Dawn buys back.
That was the
Earthshaker.
Aegis expiring, so Revenant's Brooch going back in the backpack might help take out those tanky guys. That's a die back on Slardar. Very well played by the Radiant.
Tiny was looking for something on the side. Without BKB and or buyback, it's extremely dangerous to make these individual plays.
Oof, tough fight, long fight.
Yeah, I think Radiant are sticking around. They recognize that the core is a bot back on Dire. I think, yeah, if we look at buyback status.
Yeah, any misstep is the end here. I believe just Timber has it.
Only Timber. Wyvern has it if she has the gold. Gyro catches another arrow to the face. He's out of position. I say Tiny can BKB though.
Tasty arrows.
Ooh,
Oh, jumps
that?
uphill. Tiny's doing a ton of damage, but the Satanic BKB is just too much.
Roar on Timber?
Roar on Timbersaw. I'm surprised that's going off on Timber. I would expect that to maybe go on somebody not quite so tanky. Dawn in a little bit of a rough spot, but she's got the BKB to put up with the punishment that the Dire are putting out, and it looks like Mega Creeps are coming out for the Radiant here. Maybe getting a little zealous towards the base there. Toss into
Oh,
it,
that
and she's
combo
into
with the
fountain.
leap.
You don't love to see that.
Oof. They do get megas though. So.
Very nice toss, though. Toss onto the leaping bottom to get her into the fountain was very well played by the Dire.
Absolutely. I think ideally the roar goes out on the Tiny Bear if they're able to kill him without buyback. I think that's just GG. They end up using on the Timbersaw, who I don't think even died. Yeah, he didn't die. So instead of a GG, it ends up being a Mega Creeps. And this game just got a lot harder for Dire to win.
Yeah. Roshan should be respawning, has the potential to respawn in starting after the next minute, so you might see a little bit of a lull in the action here as they wait for that to respawn.
The good news for Dire, I feel, is that Gyro has a tendency to plateau really hard. Like, once he gets these items, he doesn't really get that much stronger. He doesn't really like synergize with his teammates to just like be better than what his items would give him. Like he just does like he's kind of like a one-trick pony. He walks in, he does a lot of right-click damage. That's basically it. But like once his BKB goes down, once his Sidonic goes down, this hero doesn't really have any passive. It's just the flat cannon. But you have like a Tiny, right, who is able to do like that massive splash damage that you're able to combo with any kind of like AoE stuns that you have, or like following up a Wyvern Curse, for example. With Tiny, you're able to toss targets into your fountain or like maneuver things around the battlefield. Like you have like these tools which are more than just raw damage, which is what the Gyro represents. And I feel like Dire have more heroes that kind of offer that kind of versatility versus Radiant's cores.
Looks like Gyrocopter is moving towards picking up a MKB, presumably to get past some more of this giant stack of armor on the Dire side.
Interesting to see the MKB come out, considering there's no evasion items on Dire. Do have a
Yeah, I was
bottom.
looking through the list, but I think it's just got to be for the extra magic damage. And Roshan is alive.
Ooh,
Pretty
they
early
find
spawn for
Timber.
him.
BKB's it off.
Yeah, he's a tough guy to kill. They commit the roar to him. It's only a 30-second cooldown, so it's not that big of a commitment, but seems like you might want to save that for somebody a little more killable.
I feel like that was a defensive roar. Without the disruptor, you do not want to take these fights.
Right. Speaking of roars, Roshan has alerted the Dire to the Roshan.
I doubt Dire's gonna fight this. They're dealing with Mega Creeps.
Tiny was hanging around there, but I think he's thought better of it. Headed back to base.
Yeah, no buyback on Tiny. He can't afford to make these risky plays.
Tiny's also got an MKB. Got a Chrysalis in the backpack.
So you have buybacks on Radiant cores.
Primal Roar goes off on the Timbersaw again. And again. he has a refresher. He has double roared the timber saw to.
Oh, it was all
basically
bait.
not a nice dawn ult though, and the disruptor. Disruptor
Oh, the
does
tiny
have the refresher shard,
Divax.
so we might see another one.
Lot of
Dievac.
Divax.
And yeah, there's the next.
Slaughter Divac.
That's looking pretty dire for the dire.
Timber trying
nice
to do things
Wyvern
in the
ult,
back.
though. Just not enough for it. As the tier 4s go down, Wyvern and Timber doing what they can to try to defend the base here, but it's just not enough. Solo echo the Timber. Just, solo echo him twice.
And that'll be it.
And it looks like we're going to game 3.
Nice.
Donald Duck pick off a nice win.
Nice target prioritization by Radiant. They're focusing everybody but the Timber, although I guess the Beastmaster did double roar him for some reason. That looks so
I'm
bad.
Not sure. I'm not sure what he was thinking there.
Yeah, but it ends up working out as it did clump up Dire super hard, and they just got obliterated by that Static Storm.
Yeah, that Static Storm was very nice.
Anyway, exciting close game 2, and we will come back to you shortly with game 3. Stick around. We're live.
All right.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to MD2L Season 19 lower bracket semifinals. Game 3 elimination game between Donald Duck and our Posma's Legend. I am excited. Are you excited?
It's been a pretty exciting series so far. It's come down to game 3. Both teams are playing for their life in the tournament, so I'd say I'm as excited as I can be.
Yep. Gonna be curious to see how the drafts change. Looks like we have
Very
a
unsurprising bands here. Dusa, Ringmaster, Nature's Prophet. Oh, Dawnbreaker comes out.
that wasn't a first phase ban last game, so interesting to see it come out first phase this game. I guess they just didn't like to unable to be bursting like the gyro with the Dawn in the game, because she can just ult in. It's always hard to be able to.
I feel like these first couple of bans came out really fast. 4 bans already in the first, what is this, 20, 30 seconds?
Yeah, I mean, the night's getting pretty late, and you've already done this 2 times before. You kind of know what each team is bringing to the table at this point, so I'm not surprised by it at all. Dyer's taking a little bit of time on their last ban, though. Ban the Beastmaster. Okay, so we're gonna have a game without a Beastmaster this time.
Yippee. I'm kind of surprised they're banning that.
Yeah, I don't feel like it was super impactful. There was a couple times in the fights where like he was doing a ton of damage with the drums, but I feel like the initiations by the Beastmaster weren't always the greatest.
Yeah, a lot of roaring tanky people, roaring on the Dusa in game 1 and roaring on the Timbersaw in game 2.
Yeah. A comes out on the side of our Posma's Legend. We saw this game 1 on Donald Duck. To pretty good effect. They had a lot of CC to back up and like combo with the Ice Blast in that game.
10 seconds remain.
So it's going to be curious to see if our Posma's Legend kind of like does a similar strategy where they try and build combo heroes.
Yeah, here comes Tiny
Big
again.
CC. Tiny comes out on the opposite team this time. Tiny is a menace in high school pubs and in pros. He's just extremely good burst damage. If you're able to farm on him and get like a early blink or a Shadow Blade, you can just run around and just nuke supports dead. Ancient Apparition is an example of just a really squishy support. So
Avalanche, toss, and that AA is gone.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the weakness of the AA. No mobility, no save.
It is Dyer's ban.
Coddle Band comes out from our Posma's Legend. Did see that first game.
Yeah, formidable opponent in the first game. He was bursting people like nobody's business.
Yeah, he went straight Dagon after getting Tranquils and just went around nuking people. Was a menace to the Lifestealer. The only problem that game was that there was a Medusa facing him. And she's sitting high ground. You can't really Dagon the Medusa. It doesn't really do that much.
It is Radiant's ban.
Wraith King ban on our Posma's Legend. I don't think we've seen a Wraith King ban or pick so far in the series.
Yeah, kind of an interesting one. I wonder if they're trying to counter something they're interested in picking. What do you think that could be?
Seconds remain.
Wraith King right now is just like a generically good hero. He's meta. He's like a 58% win rate in pubs. It could just be for that. Like if you want to build burst on your team, Wraith King kind of counters burst because he just dies and comes back. You can also combo him with like push heroes, and Wraith King AA is, well, they were the ones who banned it, but Wraith King AA is actually a very strong lane because you have the setup stun for the AA, but they ban it themselves. Disruptor comes out on Donald Duck. That was, I'd say, critical to their victory in last game.
Absolutely. Those static storms were just wreaking havoc.
Honestly surprised to not see it banned on our Posma's Legends. Just like,
Yeah, I'm surprised that they banned the Beastmaster and not the Disruptor.
Yeah.
That's just sort of stumping me there.
I felt like the static storms had way more impact than the roars.
Completely agree, but maybe they think differently.
Dark
Dark
Willow.
Willow. Okay.
That's likely going to be a 5 Ancient Apparition, 4 Dark Willow. Let me pull up my spreadsheet here.
That's another support who gets easily murdered by Tiny if she gets caught without her Bedlam.
At least, yeah, at least she has the save though with the W. So if she's able to like survive the initial burst, she's able to W and then blink away or whatever. Tiny, looking at the picks. It's been played before as position 1 and position 2. So we could see it in either of those positions this game on Donald Duck. I'd expect it to be position 2.
Bloodseeker, okay, coming out. That's going to be the position 1, I'm guessing, for our pause 1 as Legend.
Yeah, that's a classic granola pick, kind of a comfort hero for him. It's pretty strong combo with Ancient Apparition and Dark Willow. Like those heroes, they force movement or they punish not moving. And Bloodseeker can do both with the Bloodright and the Rupture.
Right.
So you have lots of ways to like punish moving or not moving around with these 3 heroes. A lot of initial team fight damage, like getting out of the laning phase. AoE CC. Ancient Apparition, if he goes the Facet, gives you like AoE Stun, which you can combo with the roots from Dark Willow.
Sand King, okay. I always like to see a Sand King.
Yeah. So it seems like both teams are recognizing that the team with better CC has been having a better time in these games. Like these teams so far are very easy to execute. Wise, I'd say our Plasma's Legend is a little bit easier to execute the team fights. But both sides just have lots of magic damage, sheer amounts of magic damage. Good CC, good AoE. These fights are going to be a brawl, I feel. It's our Plasma's Legend has to just do everything they can to not get clumped up for all this AoE damage. So, going for next picks. This is going to be a 2 or 1 Tiny, probably a 3 Sand King. So you're probably picking like another support at this point. I guess it could be a support Sand King. I doubt we're going to see that though.
Yeah, that's got to be a 3, right?
It's usually played.
Does anybody
3.
play support Sand King?
I mean, you can see it. It's just a little bit awkward to play with because I don't think you max Sandstorm with support Sand King. So you're basically just a stun machine. Ends up being a line. So that's probably a 4 Lion, 5 Disruptor. So Lion Sand King lane versus Bloodseeker AA. They will have ways to punish the Sand King in his Sandstorm in lane with like Cold Feet and Bloodright. So it's not going to be like free Sandstorms. But I don't think the Bloodseeker can really like stay in lane against the Sand King if the Sand King's just allowed to sit in there. So if I'm Bloodseeker A, I'd be flying out a lot of regen and mana regen to try and bully out the Sand King as much as possible. Lion represents more CC, more hard lockdown. An initiator to go with the Sand King. More magic burst. And on
Speaking of initiators, there's CK.
Yep.
Sorry, Centaur Warrunner, not Chaos Knight, obviously.
I like the Centaur pick. It helps solve a lot of the issues that Dire has with like positioning in fights, and getting their spells down like together. And also, it's just like a tanky frontliner. You can buy a blink on it and try and pick off some of these squishy supports. So very nice Centaur Warrunner game. I will say though that like they don't really have right-click harass heroes that much on Radiant, so I don't think the return damage is going to be that effective this game. I think it's mostly just going to help out in lane and with farming, because I think Disruptor is not going to be able to do much to the Centaur in lane if he chooses to max the E. Sniper ban again by Plasma's Legend. Really want to protect this mid. OD comes out. I expect the Quap's going to come out. Yep.
Yeah,
Once
there
again,
it
the Quap
is.
comes out. And what's the band that usually comes out? Is it Invoker, right? I think it's
Yeah,
Invoker.
usually the last two were Invo Sniper, but maybe they'll change it up.
Curious to see if they ban something different this game. Earthshaker was a problem last game. Still in the pool. That would just be more wombo combo. They're kind of cool, a little cooldown dependent on Radiant right now. See the Viper. Are we gonna see a Huskar pick? This is a
Huskar could do a lot of work.
This is a pretty decent Huskar game. I feel like you want some kind of early game carry, right clicker, on our pause when his legends. I feel like your CC's fine. Your initiation, you could get another initiator. But I feel like you just pick something that can blow up these supports, really. It's going to be the Huskar.
Hey, good call on the Huskar.
Yeah, a lot of magic damage on the side of Radiant. And Huskar just like really helps mitigate that. Like you can sit in the sandstorm, no problem. You can sit in the static field, no problem. Tiny has a hard time blowing you up without late game items. Eventually, Tiny's gonna get a Silver Edge, but ideally you win the game before that happens. What do you pick as Radiant to deal with this Huskar? I think the only cure in the pool that's like a natural counter right now that's still available is Necrophos. It would give you a frontliner. I don't think Necrophos does too well against Huskar in lane though. Not a lot of heroes do. With the Sniper Viper OD band, it's hard to fight the Huskar. Looking at the heroes that Bolyax plays, it's like Invoker, Shadow Fiend, Dragon Knights. Of those, I'd say Invoker and Shadow Fiend are the best to deal with this Huskar. I think you need some kind of right clicker, some kind of Windrunner. Yeah.
Okay.
It can survive against Huskar in lane. It's not really the best counter for it though. Adds more CC. It is a right clicker. I think their game on Donald Duck is really dependent on if this Windrunner can survive against the Huskar. Like if she's able to have a good lane, then I think that the game's a lot easier for Radiant just because this Huskar is gonna come out of lane if he wins it and just go down all the towers and just right click things, and Radiant does not have the tools to deal with that. It's just, I guess they have Finger. Finger's the only way they deal with that. Overall draft wise, what do you think is who has the better draft?
I'm partial towards the Dire draft. Our Postmonus Legend has a good sort of run them down type of team here. I mean, you've got Stampede, you've got Bloodseeker, Huskar charges in, and then you've got great follow up with AA Blasts, big fear plays, Bramble Mazes to try to disrupt the enemy team. So I think if I had to pick between the two of them, I think they're both pretty strong drafts, but I like the Dyers a little more personally.
I like Dyers as well. A large part of that I feel is I don't think Windrunner really solves the issues that they're facing on.
Yeah,
Radiant's team.
She does have the Shard, the Gale Force, which might help keep the like sort of still the charge temporarily, so her team can reposition. But remains to be seen how it all plays out. And of course, our pause one is Legend, the classic play, smoke out of ace.
Yep, as they've done each game, and Donald Duck, on the other hand, does their classic split up, no smoke at the start of the game.
Yeah, will we see? There was one fight last game, pretty exciting fight in the beginning. Do you think we're going to see another one here, or have they learned their lesson?
Windrunner popped smoke on Dark Willow and put down the ward and Saw. So Radiant are aware that Dire's down here. I highly doubt they're going to go high ground against Dire. It looks like they're going to back off, kind of to the safety of their mid-tier 2 or tier 1. In terms of like level 1 team fight, I think Dire's is slightly better. But Yeah, I'd say Stires is slightly better. If the Bloodseeker picks up Blood Rage, which you did, I feel like that's a really great way to basically win any team fight. Stire's gonna try and force a fight top. Lion gets seen. And so far, it's 2 runes for Dire, 1 for Radiant. Bottom rune has not been taken yet. This has it been taken? It might be a graphical issue. Or
No, I don't think
projection.
anybody got it. No, it's still there.
Yeah, this ward is saying it sees that area, but
Yeah, it's like flickering in and out for me, and
Yeah, okay.
Huskar's going over to grab
So
it.
Huskar
I'm
will
not
grab
sure
it.
what that was all about. Very strange.
so it ends up being 3 bounty runes for Dire. A little bit of an early game advantage for them. As we have 3 heroes on Dire top, looking for a pickoff. They'll find a Lion, drop the root, connects.
Yeah, doing quite a bit of damage. He will get the...
Gets it.
Yeah, he's down. Nice pick.
On the A though, not the end of the world. Be a lot worse if the Bloodseeker got it.
Yeah.
So starting off this game to introduce the players for a 3rd and final time, we have Breaker on the position 1 Tiny, supported by Icicle on the Disruptor. Dimitri, position 3 for Dire on the Centaur Warrunner, supported by Dark Willow. In the mid lane, we have SLA playing Huskar, being opposed by Bulljax on the Winter Wyvern. And at the top lane, we have Granola on the position 1 Bloodseeker, being supported by Crasheroni on the Ancient Apparition. And Dire against them have put Mercy on the Sand King, being supported by Muzi on the Lion. Top lane, I expect we could see a couple kills up there. Mid lane, I think Huskar wins this very easily. I think that once he gets level 3, it's just GG for Windrunner. And in the bottom lane, I think that... I think Dire is slightly advantaged in the bottom lane.
One thing I wasn't considering about the Windrunner pick here is that she does have kill shot, and Huskar is a hero who likes to get very low. So it's possible she might be able to catch him with that. Maybe that was the idea there.
It could be interesting with the like the armlet toggling, maybe trying to catch him with armlet toggling. It is 11% at max level, or 12%. So he'd have to be at like 100 HP at this level to be killed instantly by it. After the power shot damage, of course. I mean, you could see it. You could absolutely see it. And I am also curious as well to see if that comes into play.
Seems like a fairly calm early game so far. Just spells going out here and there. Huskar getting low, as Huskar does. Wyvern, or not Wyvern, sorry, Windrunner getting low. Huskar throwing some burning spears under the tower, but Windrunning to evade.
And Windrunner's got to be very cognizant of her mana here. Without Windrun, she just gets destroyed by this Huskar. Have a go in the bottom lane. Has the glimpse for Dimitri. Will he use it?
Oh, nice pickoff on that Centaur.
Yeah, very well comboed there. Getting the level, not even a toss needed there with the glimpse available. Just leveling up that tree toss for max right click damage in line. Look at last hits here. Yeah, Windrunner is facing an 8 deny Huskar right now, so it's pretty despair for her. The side lanes, Tiny is doing well versus Centaur, though Centaur has a good chunk of denies under his own belt. Actually, we have a Disruptor getting caught a little bit out of position here. Maybe it's the Dark Willow.
Willow's in danger. Gone to the Shadow Realm, avoiding the damage. Centaur Stomp coming out. Getting low, but I don't know if they have the tools to finish the job here. He's getting double edges off. Tiny turns around to hit him.
It depends if they land this root on this Dark Willow. Just misses.
Ooh, just barely. Nice evade there by the Tiny.
Meanwhile, mid, Huskar is just standing under tower, harassing this one runner. She's unable to hit creeps even under her own tower.
Yeah, that's Huskar for you.
Just complete despair.
Oh, dodging around in the trees though. Nice play by her.
Oh, the silence though.
Ooh, gets a nice little stun off on him, but doesn't get anything out of it.
Huskar just has to be careful about getting tower shots. That's the only way he dies.
Hmm.
So yeah,
Power shots and power shots, if you will.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, she is maxing that power shot.
More action in the bottom lane. Centaur's getting pretty low. I do think they... Oh, Glimpse is on cooldown there, so he's getting out.
There is little hope for Dire's middle tower.
Have a go on bottom. Centaur getting low. We'll get Glimpse
And
back.
Centaur playing with fire down there.
Gets popped.
Always tricky to play around the Glimpse.
Yep.
He does a lot of damage, too.
Yeah, if Tiny's able to get you low, it's just you can't run away from this disruptor. Just gotta be aware of that and be aware of your positioning. Actually, they might find this Dark Willow. They have the Glimpse. Drops the Ops for it. Doesn't...
Just a couple mana off. Is he gonna... Looks like they're not interested.
Centaur was coming up. They probably decided against it. Based on that. So, looks like this might be a even laning phase, at least in the side lanes. I think the game plan for Dire...
Get root on Tiny. Oh, but they got the Glimpse out of there, so... He gets away with about 100 HP.
Yeah. He's low. That is thirsting up Bloodseeker, so that will buff him up a little bit in lane. I feel like the game plan for Dire is pretty simple. Huskar is going to win his lane, and he's going to get a pretty quick armlet. Once he gets his armlet, he's just going to start rotating around. After he gets
Speaking
his
of rotations, we do have a Windrunner lingering top. Got a regen rune bottled, but decides to Windrun into the river and start walking back to mid lane.
Might be found by the Huskar. Nope. Chosen lane. So yeah, Dire just waiting on this Huskar to win the tower and rotate the lanes. On Radiant, you can't do anything about this Huskar. Not for a little while. So I feel like the idea is just try and win these side lanes as hard as possible, which the Tiny's doing very well in his lane. The Sand King is currently top CS. So I feel like the lanes are going about as well as you'd expect them to go on the side of Radiant.
Windrunner actually doing a great job of surviving against this Huskar.
She hasn't died.
Yeah, she's been doing a good job kiting, shackling.
Yeah, very.
Just
See it.
Scraping out what she can here.
Her CS is a bit despair right now.
Well, all things considered.
We're going bottom. Start on the Tiny.
Seems to be the action lane so far. Tiny getting awfully low and does go down to the Centaur. We've got a TP in from Lion though to try to get
Nice
some revenge
glimpse.
kills. Nice glimpse on the
Doing up the damage.
Dark Willow there, and they do manage to take out the Centaur. Very nice. Nice rotation by the Radiant.
Yeah, very nice TP rotation by the Lion there. Without that, they wouldn't have gotten both those kills.
Looks like Disruptor does have Storm now, and Lion is getting really close to Finger. Dark Willow has TP'd into top. AA and Dark Willow still don't have ults yet. Maybe they're interested in going on this Sand King.
He's gonna contest the Lotus. Ooh, nice dodge.
Nice dodge.
Right. Epi
Gets the
use.
ult off. Yeah, AA is getting pretty low.
Oh,
Looks like he just doesn't have enough to finish it off, though. And now he's in a bad spot here.
No rotations coming out. Sand King's all low.
Oh, nice burrow strikeout. Into the low ground. Saves his own life there.
Lion's here. Got some low heroes on Dire. He will show on lane though.
Yeah, Lion, unfortunately, still no Finger. If he did have it, AA might be in some danger. Looks like we're getting another TP in from Disruptor. Disruptor does have an ult here. Still no ults on the Dire.
There is a lane ward for Dire here, so they know that the Disruptor's here. They back off accordingly. Because these lanes have been sort of static this whole time, the supports are actually pretty high level. So we are going to see some early ultimates come out from these supports compared to some of the prior games.
Lion's
just
got the
his
finger
ult.
now.
Yeah. This could be a very dead Bloodseeker very quickly here. Sand King's able to land a Barrier Strike. Have a Haste Huskar running top.
Ooh, could be exciting.
They see
Here
him
he
on
comes.
the-
They've seen him. He's on the
Ooh.
Disruptor. Disruptor has the raindrops, though. Gets a nice glimpse off. Here goes the Static Storm. Bloodseeker trying to get what he can out of here. Does manage to find the pick. AA Blast comes in. Catches the Sand King, and he's getting very low here.
Rupture on Windrunner.
Looks like Rupture on the Windrunner, who just TP'd in. Avalanche is going to deter the Dire, and it looks like the Dark Willow is going to fear away the Lion to escape. Nice fight by the Dire there.
Yep. They got the Tiny to rotate as well, so Centaur is just free farming, and Tiny really doesn't want to be in this lane.
Yeah, it was a great, very fortuitous haste rune for the Huskar there.
Yep. Radiant does see Huskar on this high ground with this Obs. They still have 4 heroes up here, but Windrunner kind of recognizing the fight's over, running back mid. Sand King meanwhile hits bottom after respawning. Try and pressure this Centaur a little bit. Sand King's having a good game, and Tiny's having a pretty good game. So, like, this is gonna be a close game. I feel, like, just based off of what the laning phase is showing us.
Stun on the Bloodseeker. That finger goes down, and they do pick him up with the Avalanche. Very nice.
Try to go on the
Ooh,
Tiny.
but Tiny getting rooted under tower. Here's another Static Storm.
Ooh,
Catches
nice.
the Huskar and the AA. I think they gotta get out of here.
No, they glimpsed the Huskar
That
back.
was a glimpse on that.
Actually, it might have killed the Windrunner here. She drops Focus Fire, kills,
no.
kill each other.
Oh, very unfortunate.
I'm not sure if the Windrunner wasn't expecting it or she just went on the Huskar, but they managed to kill each other. She has the Javelin. That's going to really help her kill Huskar by herself. Looks like Windrunner's working towards a Maelstrom, probably playing a bit of a slower game. I expected both teams to play pretty conservatively this game. We have a go top on Dark Willow.
AA Blast comes out, gets the Tiny. Avalanche doing a lot of damage, but ooh, that magic
Tiny
damage
explodes.
just tears him to pieces, and Lion is going to get cleaved asunder by the Centaur. Windrunner does TP up, but it doesn't look like there's going to be much going on for him here.
Radiant did a good job of backing out once they recognized that after the Tiny died, there wasn't really much of a fight.
Good rotations all around by both teams.
Yep, we have a pretty close game so far. Just a slight network advantage for Dire as we have a go top.
Might be seeing a glimpse here on the AA. Yeah, here it comes.
Ooh, she's out of position.
AA is getting off low. Static
Static.
Storm there, but Windrunner is the one getting picked off. As well as the AA.
Honestly, considering her net worth, that's not even the worst. She's only 700 above the AA. Like, you don't want to see it, but that's, not the end of the world trading a Windrunner for an AA right there. We have a Tiny running away from the Huskar. Throws the Avalanche out. I need to add some energy to my voice. I know it's game 3. It's getting pretty late. This is we gotta add some excitement to this game, right? This is an elimination game.
Yeah, they're playing for their lives in the tournament here.
Yeah, we got a slow boiler so far. Huskar Invis sitting in the mid lane wants to go on one of these supports.
He's gonna be getting hexed. The frog. AA
Look at the
Blast coming
reaction.
out. Where's it going? It's going nowhere.
Nowhere.
He's blasting the next map over, I guess.
Ah, yes. The Sand King rushing
Ooh,
Octarine.
really got very low from that power shot mid. Sand King rushing Octarine. Very interesting
She's going
choice.
for the pick. Oh, no, it was never enough. Huskar finds the Windrunner, silences. She can't get Windrunner
And
off.
she's down.
Yeah.
Yeah, those burning spears are brutal, but the glimpse on the Huskar, he's awfully low here. They
This
do have
is
3 heroes
dangerous.
doing
Oh,
a lot
the
of damage,
finger.
and they do take him
Yeah,
down.
finger.
Very nice. Very nice.
No finger there. I think Huskar killed all 3 of them.
I think that's definitely worth it for the Radiant.
Oh, absolutely. Huskar is the scariest hero in the game right now. Able to slow him down, your chances of victory go up dramatically. They're just trying to buy time on Radiant. Sand King going for Octarine. Yeah, they're going Sand King actually. Q's away.
Oh, he's going for Bloodthorn, actually.
Is he?
He's got the Voodoo Mask. And he is getting gone on by the Centaur here.
Oh, it's
I don't think
Bloodstone.
he has any... Oh, but he does actually have some hope. That Voodoo Mask probably keeping him alive there. Dodges the fear. Very nice.
Ice
but
Blast? Oh,
Ice
just
Blast
missed.
also doesn't find the mark, and Windrunner is able to focus fire down the Dark Willow. Yeah. Yeah, I think that Voodoo Mask probably saved his life in that fight.
Yeah, oh, I was wrong. It's a Bloodstone, actually. Rush on him. It's going for maximum spell lifesteal.
Dire's bottom tower is in danger.
Huskar completed his armlet. He's going Blade Mail next item. That's unusual.
Interesting choice.
That is very unusual. I think he's wanting to kill supports. He's gonna find a support, actually.
And he's killing the support. That is a dead disruptor, but he's getting awfully low. Is a lion here. No finger on him, though.
Huskar's getting pretty low. Windrunner had vision of him. Could potentially throw out a power shot.
Might have been worth the shot.
Worth the shot.
Probably not enough to kill, though. Oh, yeah, yeah. Very nice, very nice.
You're so clever, dude.
Thanks, I do my best.
I knew there's a reason why I had you on here.
That's right, that's right.
Alright. So with
Surprised we haven't seen any blink daggers coming out yet. Looks like Centaur's got one queued up. Sand King still working on the Bloodstone. Tiny opting for the Shadow Blade instead of the blink. Kind of expected to see like a tiny Sand King blink squad. Maybe even the Lion getting in on the action. Lion does have the blink queued up. The 3 of those guys jumping in on you, I mean, that's a lot of burst. That's probably enough to take out any of the Dire heroes at this point.
we have some smokes coming out on both sides. Dire smoked up and immediately split up. Radiant meanwhile running top looking for something. Sand King's up here.
Heroes top. Get the initiate off on the Bloodseeker. AA Blast comes in. Not to much effect.
Yeah, there's no
A
follow
little
up.
bit of a mess. The Windrunner did go down to the
Nice. Look at that
Huskar.
static storm. Holy
Huge
moly.
static storm, though. Oh, and there goes Dark Willow. Did cost the life of the Disruptor, though.
That looks so bad, the Sand King dumping everything on the Bloodseeker and just not able to do enough damage, but the Bloodseeker ran in afterwards. Actually, Huskar finds the Sand
And he's
King.
still going in. Sand King is
Yeah.
giving up his life there.
Not
unfortunately.
respecting the Huskar. Hasn't had to deal with him all game, so doesn't really know how strong and oppressive this guy is.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that was good for Radiant. But then the Sand
Yeah, I
King
was just
died.
about to say that.
They still managed to end up with a slight goal and an XP lead, nothing really of consequence. Bloodseeker has the Falcon Blade, rushing Mjolnir. Windrunner, meanwhile, going for BKB after her Maelstrom.
Probably wise.
Tiny rushing Shadow Blade after Echo Saber. I like this a lot. With the squishy supports on the side of Dire, Tiny will be able to be a menace to them. I'm trying to force them to be more of the team.
Right.
Huskar finished up Blade now.
Sand King in a little bit of danger here. Huskar is a force to be reckoned with. Deciding not to go. Maybe he thinks it was a bait?
Yeah, I mean, Sand King is pretty strong right now. You gotta
don't
respect
know.
these heroes. I feel. I don't know. With the full bloodstone, it's a very hard hero to kill. I mean, you are
I suppose
Huskar.
that's true.
You don't really commit
Huskar.
much.
Maybe he was worried they wouldn't have detection for him.
Maybe.
Dark Willow has Dust. AA does not. So maybe that was the issue.
Windrunner's trying to get back into this game, just farming up with her Maelstrom. Tiny is sitting at the top of the net worth, has just finished up Shadowblade. I expect him to make a play on one of these supports when they show in lanes like the AA is doing now. Centaur feels like his farm should be better. I feel like he's been bottom like this whole game, just farming up, but he's sitting at the bottom of the non-Windrunner cores.
Hmm.
We have a Shadowblade on Tiny.
Ooh, he's looking for something.
Tormentor is up. Dyer's playing
They
around
do
the
have
area.
vision there. They will be able to see him coming, but
Yeah, so Shadowblade reveal. Looks like they're rotating heroes up here.
teleport in from the Centaur. We've got
Ooh,
5 heroes up here for
Disruptor.
Dire. Ooh, Static Storm goes off. It looks like they will take out the Disruptor.
Supports
And the Lion went
explode.
down to the AA as well.
But front Tiny, can he
Windrunner's
get
in a little
out?
bit of an unfortunate position, but it does look like she manages to TP out. Seems like a disaster averted, only losing the supports there.
Absolutely, yeah. Disruptor just walking high ground, just face taking the no vision zone. Ends up costing his life. Dropped a Static Storm. That bought him some time as it forced the Dire to split up around it. On the side, Huskar decided to go on the line.
And we've
Rupture
got a
was-
shard on the AA now.
That is an excellent shard. One of the
Very
better
good
ones in the
shard.
game. Just gives you AoE stun with the Ice Blast.
Is under attack.
So what's the plan here if you're Radiant? You're a little bit behind from the early game. You've got great team fight, but the fights haven't really been going your way so far.
At the moment, you wait until your Disruptor has Static Storm. You wait until all your heroes have their ultimates. I feel like as we have a pick-off on Granola bottom,
Pick off on the Bloodseeker, yeah.
it's likely just
Missed that.
Yeah, it's just a Shadowblade Tiny. Actually, probably a Blink Lion Shadowblade Tiny. Find the Granola down there. As we have a find on A as well.
AA pick.
Pay more attention here. Slipping up a little bit.
Yeah, it happened so fast.
Yeah. So this is another way that Radiant play this game is they just, they utilize this tiny Shadowblade as much as possible. Just wait for heroes to show in lane. Like even this Bloodseeker can't even show in lane. Like even once he gets BKB, like this Tiny's gonna be able to burst him without him being able to use BKB. So I like this. You have 3 heroes in lane shoving out towers, just trying to split up Dire as much as possible. You want to try and prevent the snowball around the Huskar as much as possible. This Huskar, he doesn't want to be farming right now. He bought Armlet Blade Mill. I mean, he's close to BKB, but once he gets that BKB, he wants to just fight. Like, and the longer you can prevent that timing, the better your team, because Huskar does not do well at the late game.
Got a couple of heroes up here, though. Looks like they might be trying to make a play on him.
Yep, there's a counter play happening bottom as well as Dyer's looking for this Tiny. They're going to see the Tiny come through the
smokes.
portal. There is vision here.
Ooh, looks like they've got the Huskar.
Oh,
Meanwhile,
he blinks
Radiant
into
are-
the Static Storm.
Ooh, yeah, unfortunate. Dire is trying to get some revenge here, though. AA Blast comes out and gets 3. Very nice AA Blast.
Center. goes
Bloodseeker
down.
coming in and tearing him to shreds.
All cores dead
picks.
on Radiant. Sports after run.
Huge stuff. From
Lion.
Dire.
Surrounds himself.
And it looks like they're going to be able to find the Lion as well here.
Nice Yule's timing on the Dark Willow.
Very nice.
I'll take that arm for myself.
You want to avoid taking fights around towers as Radiant, because Dire can just rotate in like that. And ideally you don't go on the Huskar or the Centaur, as they're extremely tanky heroes. You want to be blowing up this Bloodseeker or Dark Willow or AA, ideally. They did manage to get the Huskar and the Centaur though, so they don't get any XP for that gold, for that for those kills. But that was a nice chunk of change going the way of like Dark Willow and Bloodseeker.
Yeah, I believe AA got kill credit for a couple of those too, so he should be flush with cash.
Yeah.
Looks like he's picked up a Rod of Atos.
Along with a defensive cloak. I like that. Helps him potentially survive the burst from Tiny or Sand King.
And he's just finished off a Glimmer Cape. Very nice. Nice rich AA.
If I were the A in this game, I'd probably go Midas this game, in fact. Like, I have a feeling this game's going to go late just due to the nature of it being an elimination game. And Midas on this hero is really nice because you can't really farm otherwise. He did go Bone Chill, which doesn't mean he lacks like the farming speed that the other facet gives him with the AoE Cold Feet. So this is going to be a pretty poor A. Although I say that, he is currently ahead of the enemy mid. Windrunner
And
still...
we got another smoke play from the Dire.
Yeah,
Looks like they're interested in some kind of action in the mid lane here. Maybe pick off this Lion? Perhaps?
They don't have
Walking
vision.
into the jungle?
Yeah. They're not likely going to run nearby the tower unless they have vision, which they do of the lion. They see him and his ward. Looking to find something here. They just lack the vision.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. The Dire scan. On the hunt for radiant.
Maybe they were hoping to find a Tiny in the jungle down there, but unfortunately, not gonna happen as that smoke is running out.
They'll be forced to retreat back across the river. As Radiant expertly dodged that smoke play.
AA uses the Ice Blast to check the Roche pit. There's nobody in there.
I feel like that's kind of a commitment when you could have just pressed Ice Vortex.
Yeah, I don't know what the idea was there. Maybe they thought because Tiny wasn't in the jungle, he was taking Roche, early Roche play.
I mean, Windrunner's kind of the only way you kill Roche on Radiant. It's not great. They do see the tiny mid here. They're going to start walking
Now
at him.
that's a pick they might be interested in.
Oh, yeah. Radiant's feeling this out, though. See the Huskar mid. They're going to start rotating over.
Here comes the Stampede. Catches the Disruptor.
It's a big pick if they get it.
Looks like he's going to be getting the Static Storm off, but probably will be going down here. And he does eventually fall to the AA. Dire hungry for more here. But realizing that they still have a tower up, choosing to siege that down instead of chase for kills.
Both teams playing very cautious. That kill ended up being a 750 gold swing, 1400 XP. Currently enough. I find a Sand King.
Ooh, blinking in with the dust. Very nice. Turned into a fish. A little bit of a false start there. Nice attempt, though, by the Dire, trying to keep the momentum up.
Yeah, that's another thing you want to do as Radiant. You want to stall the game out as long as possible to allow this Runner to actually be a factor. She's very close to her BKB. That will help her in fights, but the only thing she does in fights really is like pick a target, focus firearm down, and kill them. That's like her only purpose in these fights. And even that's like pretty slow. So
Sand King in a bit of an awkward spot here. Sure, looks like he does get the stun off on the Dark Willow.
Ooh, the
Ooh, a
Yules
little bit of
counter
an
synergy.
awkward Yules. Oh, he does go down, though.
Yeah, the Yules by the offensive tips come out. Offensive Yules by Dark Willow prevents the AA Ice Blast from connecting. They're going to find a Tiny here.
Ooh.
Under
Great
ward
pick if
vision.
they can seal the deal on it, but he does BKB, so he might be able to get out here.
Centaur?
Throwing the Centaur around.
He's getting low.
Not sure if that was the move. Here comes Disruptor with a Static
So
Storm
close to
just
being
on
moved.
the Centaur. Just not quite enough. Windrunner in the back line there, just going down to the Huskar and the Bloodseeker, though.
Yeah, meanwhile, Dark Willow jumping into enemy base to kill the Disruptor.
Oh,
Finds
nice.
it but dies. Ends up being a 3 for 1. I guess 2 for 1 if you discount the Sand King. Ice Blast, finds 2, no kills. First tier 2
And there's a
falls.
tier 2. It's not looking good for Radiant. Seems like the Dire have a lot of momentum here.
Yeah, it's just so hard to play with this Run Runner after such a terrible lane. Like, she got the BKB, but like she doesn't do anything in these fights.
Right. Yeah, I think she got a little bit of an awkward TP there to the tier 2,
Yeah.
separated from her team.
I mean, that right there, it was the Sand King got caught, and he was unable to
Wow, yeah.
escape because he had no escape items. So, and then they dire transitioned that into a tiny rundown, which devolved into like what's essentially a 3v5 because the Windrunner's not really a hero.
Well,
So
looks like he's opted to hold off on the Ags to get a Blink Dagger, so maybe he can avoid that next time.
Radiant playing safe. His tiny farms up. Dire's been hanging around in this area for quite a while.
Well, it has been working out for him, to be fair.
Huskar's gonna start Roshan. He can do this by himself, so Dire really just have to posture on the high ground if they want to catch a good fight. I don't think Radiant can test this. They don't have any kind of global spells to scout or just kill the Huskar in this. I mean, if Sand King could come in with like a Blink Strike Epi, but it'd be really hard to just do that blind. And looks like they're just going to give this up for free. Push out the lanes in the meantime on the side of Radiant. So there is pressure coming out. Dire is going to have to go back and deal with these lanes, so they can't go start pushing high ground immediately. This is still a very close game. Like, Radiant absolutely have the tools to demolish Dire's heroes. It's a little bit harder with the Huskar. Like, the only way you can, like, burst the Huskar is if, like, a tiny lion combo, I feel. So, Huskar goes high ground, you kind of want to, like, burst the Aegis as quickly as possible with that. But you have to be able to get out, is the question. And with the center Stampede able to run heroes into you, it's going to be hard to be able to do that kind of hit and run tactic.
Yeah, very tricky.
Dire reposition to the top lane. There is a Tormentor available should they choose to do it, but this tier 2 seems to be the objective as they push forward.
Maybe a catch on the Windrunner here.
She has BKB.
Dark Willow going out for him. Pops the BKB, gets glimpsed away. AA Blast going down. Will hit her, but probably nothing coming out of that. Meanwhile, in the top lane, Tiny running for his life as the top tier 2 is not long for this world.
Very easy tower pickup by Dire. Windrunner, you haven't used the BKB there. And there is a mid tier 2. I'm curious to see if they go for it. Sand King's pushing mid. There's going to be creeps hitting mid tier 2 shortly. But they're going to go high ground here.
Yeah, they're pretty strong right now. Diving past. Huskar's in the fray here. Bloodbraid coming out.
Yeah.
Nice static storm on the Huskar. Pops the Aegis right away.
Solo epi on the center. You don't want to see that.
Yeah. It was probably more of a zoning epi than anything else.
It's so hard for these supports to follow up when you dive that deep. They're going to find a Huskar with a glimpse.
Nice glimpse on the Huskar.
Ooh. AI
A
Blast.
blast though coming out, and the finger takes him down. Huge glimpse.
Tiny's
Dark
ruptured. He has to
Dark
stand
Willow's
there.
in. Dark Willow's in. Bloodseeker's in too. Going to find a kill on the Tiny. I suppose that was a distraction, Willow.
It could have been, yeah.
Just, you know, throw your body at the enemy team so I
not-
can kill their carry.
Yeah,
It's not the worst play.
I think they were going for the Sand King half HP. That's a huge pickup if you can get it. But with the Bloodstone, it's just so difficult to bring him down.
Yeah.
If that was a distraction, that was awesome. Like, the Tiny was ruptured. They knew he was ruptured, so he couldn't have gone that far. So Willow may have just been, like, hunting him. Bloodseeker was able to chase with the Aghanims on Bloodseeker now. He's probably the strongest trader in the game because he heals so much damage off of that Aghanim Scepter. Like, Tiny cannot right-click the Bloodseeker if the Bloodseeker has Blood Rage up. So you kind of just have to wait out Bloodseeker's BKB and kite him with abilities.
Right. One outer remains for the Radiant, trying to scrape up as much money as they can to put up a defense.
Yeah, Dire have fallen back with the popping of the Aegis. There is a tier 2 tower remaining, although I don't know if they feel confident enough to really go for this. Tiny still very high net worth. Sand King behind him. Only Bloodseeker is ahead of those two. With the Mjolnir Black King. I just don't think that Bloodseeker is incredibly scary without like a whole team around him. Like if you're able to kite his BKB around, he just picked up Basher, but if you're able to kite his BKB, then this hero just gets CC'd to hell. No passives really help him with that. He just has move speed, that's it. Tiny's gonna show in the bottom lane. There are some heroes around on the side of
Might be
Dire.
catching the Sand King out here.
Yeah.
Dire very interested in the Roche Pit, even though it can't respond. Sure what that AA was doing in there.
Might find a Bloodseeker here. He drops. The Bloodseeker's chase the Sand King away.
Sand
Ooh,
King's
Dark
very
Willow
in
blinks in.
danger.
They're gonna drop a lot on this Dark Willow.
The Dark Willow isn't dead yet. She's got the Yule. BKB's committed from both sides. AA Blast goes out, gets the Tiny. He's going down.
Wondering they're trying to bring a Huskar. That's tall order. Can't you do it?
She just doesn't have the kit for it, I
Yeah.
don't think. Great pickoffs by the Bloodseeker there. Super surprisingly, Dark Willow was able to just barely live through that static storm.
Yeah, she had the
And-
Yules. No Ags on the Disruptor at this point in time. Still a little ways off that. So it's going to mitigate a lot of the damage from that.
Yeah, AA had the Glimmer too. Survived some of that magic damage and making it 3-0 for that go. Not looking good for
Lion
Radiant.
Blinks
Just-
in. That was,
Obliterated is what happens to him. Some,
I wonder if he clicked
tips
the
there.
mini-map. Yeah.
yeah, that was the minimap.
You hate to see it. No buyback on the Lion.
Oh.
Very unlucky.
Is right. Yeah.
Oh, anyway. They managed to pick up the Lion there and get a free Rax. Looking for a pause for SAP.
Yeah, jeez.
I don't think
This
you
might
could swap
be
in.
the end here.
I don't think you could swap in stand-ins. It's not over yet. They have full ultimates available on the side of Radiant. Dire has to respect that. I was gonna say, I thought it was unusual that Radiant decided to commit so much to bring this Dark Willow down.
Yeah.
Maybe they feel like that's really the only hero they can bring down, other than the AA. It's like Centaur is too tanky, Huskar has BKB and is a Huskar. Bloodseeker has 3000 HP and a BKB. So, like, if they had any kind of follow-up for that Static Storm, it would have been a kill. But it's the positioning was awkward. They had to go out of their way to bring down that Dark Willow. She wasn't like she blinked in, right? But Radiant wasn't expecting it and backed off, and so all of a sudden it was just really awkward to try and stack on spells to kill the Dark Willow.
Right.
And Bloodseeker just walked in and comboed the Tiny, and Tiny couldn't do anything about it.
Kind of surprised they're not going high ground here. I mean, they've got a 5000 HP Centaur with a heart. Seems like they should be able to just send him up there to beat the hell out of the tower and then run away when he gets to half HP.
Elimination game woes.
Yeah, I guess so.
It's going to be
Play it safe when your life in the tournament is on the line.
Yep, a little bit conservative.
You suppose they'll wait for the next Roshan then? It's probably the move.
Status.
Can start to respond in the next 15 seconds.
You can. I mean, it doesn't really cost you that much to do it. You have Radiant well and truly hemmed in. They're not really farming. Windrunner's the only one outside base doing anything. You have very good wards to hem in the Radiant team. Make sure they're not going anywhere. If I'm on Radiant, you really need to use this Shadow Blade on Tiny to like push out side lanes. Because Dire are going to be playing together like all the time. They're going to be moving around together. So you just need to punish that by split pushing, trying to buy some space on your team. And the more you can do that, the better position you're going to be for a potential Roche fight, which I don't know if they really want to contest. They have like excellent tools to contest it. It's just awkward because they don't really have good vision for it. Roshan did spawn, by the way. It was a very early spawn, and he will be migrating down to the bottom.
Stomping through the river.
Yeah.
I love that change. So fun watching him.
Oh, it was so good. Just having the objectives be like in the middle of the map, it's close to other objectives, just makes it so nice. So you don't have to like go all the way to the corner of the map and then run all the way down the lane to go push a tower, you know? Makes games a lot faster. I feel like that was the big thing that made games speed up compared to the prior patch. Dire will scout out the Roshan, send the Husker Rin to take care of it. As Radiant still seem a little unsure of themselves. Kind of staying in base. Tiny, I feel like his farm is starting to take a hit here.
What is going on over here? They're dragging him out of his pit. Just kill the poor bastard.
I don't think Bloodseeker Ags works on Roshan. Yeah, it doesn't. It could be. If it does, that'd be a lot of damage. Husker getting really low here. Manages to get out.
Yeah. Radiant doesn't really have anything to do to him. I guess maybe he was worried about dying to the stomp.
Yeah, or the Roar. They put the Aegis on the Bloodseeker. I agree with this. Bloodseeker is... he's your carry. He's online at this point. He's doing a lot of damage. He's not really the one you want to be pushing high ground though. It's still relegated to the role of Huskar because Bloodseeker can't really sustain without creeps nearby. So Huskar is going to feel a little squishy and awkward if they choose to go high ground with this Aegis, because he gets picked off pretty easily.
Yeah.
This did end up being more of a utility Huskar, as he went Boots of Travel's Aghanims, going more for the disable and the map presence than for the team fight contribution. It's like damage. Dire's gonna smoke up and run into the bottom high ground.
And here's the siege.
Banner drops.
The banner. They're walking up the hill.
We have TP's back.
Static Storm goes out, but Huskar is deep in the base, getting glimpsed back into the storm. Stampede comes out to get him out of there. Not bad. Got a good chunk of the tower. Got some spells committed.
They will go for round 2.
AA Blast coming out.
Sand King's
Lead Rupture is out on the Sand King. He's taking a ton of damage. Tiny's coming in and
ooh, big
smacking the Huskar
damage.
down.
Can they bring the
Tons of
Huskar down?
damage. Can he get up?
They get him with the power shot!
The power shot! The power shot! It happened!
Ooh, Sand King buyback. They try to retreat.
Ooh.
Chasing after Windrunner. Granola. No Aegis now.
in the base.
BKB ran
He's
out.
pretty low under the tier 4s there.
Oh, this be disaster if Granola went down. He's very
the
fast
fear.
though. With the glimpse though,
Okay.
Tiny, anything?
Glimpse,
Avalanche?
Just misses, I think, from the
No.
butterfly.
You know, Sand
Can't
King
get the damage
dieback.
off. Scar and Centaur just zoning. Trying to keep the team in there, but here comes
Tiny
Tiny to
finds
do that
two.
damage, and I think this is going to be a dieback on the Huskar.
Ooh, dieback
he's
Huskar!
dead.
Centaur, love the team, gets
Centaur
tossed
getting
back.
tossed towards the fountain.
Hey,
He's getting awfully
goes
low.
down.
They find
Uh-oh.
a pick on him. It's anybody's fight at this point. There goes the Disruptor. Bloodseeker takes him down.
Tiny's still alive.
3v3. Tiny's up. There's a buyback on AA.
Lion missed
Lion
the
getting
stun.
picked off.
Someone.
It's invisible for now, but for how long? Gets thrown back in. Don't leave. No routing. Fight, fight, fight. Trying to take out this Centaur.
Huge
comes in on a Static Storm, and that's the end of Tiny. Tiny's got his buyback, though. Here he comes. Windrunner goes down to the Bloodseeker. And Centaur, finally, after all this time, goes down, and Bloodseeker is going to make the retreat. Oh, maybe he's coming back for more. He's decided he's not done yet.
As the rupture.
Got a rupture. Doesn't find it. Tiny doesn't want the smoke right now. He's got to wait. Maybe waiting for his Windrunner to buy back. I'm not sure what the idea is here.
Granola wants this Rax.
It was a hard-fought Rax,
Okay.
too. My god, what a bloodbath.
Radiant are gonna give it to him. What a fight. Look at that kill screen. Holy moly.
Jesus.
6-5x. Every hero died.
Incredible stuff. Oh, there's the rupture on the Tiny. They don't hit the blast, and he's just going to run to Fountain and get his HP back. Sand King's alive. Looks like a calculated retreat from the Dire here. Huge. Huge fight.
That Ice Blast at the end was so massive. And the fact that they
Oh.
weren't able to bring the Bloodseeker down. Also
the
so massive. Ugh, just these fights,
Incredible
man.
stuff.
They come down to like the smallest little plays. Dire secures 2 sets of racks now, looking to take the third as they run top. If we look at buybacks here real quick. There's only one remaining on the side of Radiant. It's the Windrunner. So any other heroes on the side of Radiant go down. They're down for quite a while. And
Every second counts here as we come down to the wire.
Dire seems like they want to try pushing. They are dawdling for quite a while though. Roshan's not going to come up for at least 3 minutes. Might be starting to see rotation here.
Yeah, probably, like you said earlier, it's, you know, they're playing, this is the elimination game.
Yep.
If you make one mistake, that could be the end.
This game's for all the cookies. Centaur shield are in 2800 shield.
Big old guy. 5644 HP.
That's the hero you want to sit high ground and just right click the tower.
Got the Pyrrhic Cloak, too. That's a very strong item on him.
Centaur's gonna begin the siege.
Chopping it down.
What can you do against him? How do you start
Thrown
this
out what
way?
they can. Here comes
Static
the Static
Storm.
Storm. Catches the Huskar and the Centaur. Sand
Yippee.
King's going in. They're trying to pop this Huskar. And it looks like they will find him.
Oh,
Very
die
nice.
back.
AA Blast is on the Tiny, though. Here comes the Stampede. And they're going to take the Sand King down, maybe. Did they not see him? No vision? No, they got him. Oh, he just barely gets out, but Windrunner is going to be going down. Tiny's coming in. BKB ready.
They focus the hero
Throwing
with
the
buyback.
Bloodseeker.
She's not buybacking.
Oh, Tiny's getting awfully low here. It's not looking good for the Radiant.
Finally buys back, but her
That's the end
Tiny's
of
dead.
Tiny there. Sand King's doing his best, but he just gets chopped down by the Centaur. And it's down to the Windrunner, the Lion, and the Disruptor.
Ice Blast, Centaur
Ice blasted.
stun. Ice Lion stun.
Yeah, there goes the Windrunner. Finger just
Good
not
commit.
enough at this point. Lion's going to be going down here, and Disruptor cowering in the base. As the GG is called.
What a great game.
Great game, great series. Well played by both teams.
It was an exciting one. It wasn't a 2-0 stomp, as a lot of these series have been.
Yeah, it took a while to get going there, but geez, that was a hell of a game.
Definitely one for the books. Well, I had fun. Great fun. Thank you all for watching. This has been Our Plasma is Legend versus Donald Duck. Our Plasma is Legend will be going forward in this tournament. I believe they have one more series in the lower bracket before Grand Finals. And Donald Duck, unfortunately, will be getting eliminated here. But good series. Good times. Thanks for watching, everybody. Hope to see you next time.